Hey everyone, I'm just killing some time while I wait for everyone else. Killing time. Um, Beth, if you're checking this out, I hope we get through the reading quickly because I got a lot to do, and primarily it's college. I've been busting my ass trying to and I'm just waiting on everybody else. So first one here again. Just wish it was a little bit easier earlier, like 8 o'clock, so that way I could get through the script reading and hit the stack, because I've got school in the morning.
Hey, if you're trying to get in shape, stop scrolling for a second and listen to me. I got something that's very easy for you to do. One of these so-called healthy foods can kill a guy's T level, number one fat burning muscle. But on the flip side, there's also certain nutrients that can boost T levels. And you
Just waiting on somebody, anybody else. Oh. Excuse me. I'm just playing some clips that are kind of funny, so forgive me because just waiting on everyone. So I'm playing a few clips of things. wish someone was coming in right now. This run anyone. Jesus. Sorry about all the noises and whatnot. I'm just waiting on someone, anyone. I've rehearsed my lines, and I'm need to get going. I need pizza. My fan kind of, if there's anyone off or anything off, let me know. Still 18. Anyone else? Someone to come on in. Just waiting on anyone right now. No, I don't. You were tearing me apart, Lisa. Come on, it's almost 9 o'clock and none of them have lights on. I'm probably gonna have to tap out after I finish late last night. So wish someone's gonna have to talk to so I can. We got. I want to get the. Next, get into more activities. These are physical. Hey Ben,
Hey, how's it going?
good. I've been waiting here for a while, so
Yeah, normally, 15 minutes before.
I've been here for a while. Um I'm hoping that we can get through this like super quickly because I've got stuff I gotta get to in the morning,
Yeah,
primarily college.
I got work in the morning. So yeah, but
I want to I'm hoping that the that we go kind of get through this quickly because
I'm sure we will.
the second my last character is dead, I gotta tap out. There's no two ways around it.
Sure thing. Who are you playing?
I'm playing Duncan, who I'm going to be a little bit more of a nerdy type, and Blake, who I'm gonna try to be more uh type of that
Yeah.
type of. And for the doctor on page 22, I'm sure you are well aware of Doctor Strangelove, or
Yeah.
how
Gotcha.
Guten Tag, love. I've been trying to get my own kind of like virtual table read going as well. Emma,
Hello.
hello. Um,
Let's see.
and I'm hoping if Beth can help me out with like the finer details. I've tried to get it going, but twice in the past 2 weeks, it's kind of like bad luck. First time, my internet crapped out in the middle of recording,
That sucks.
Yeah.
and last time no one could come up because they were all too busy. I'm
Yeah, that
hoping.
happens.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, if I work with Beth on this, um, it's like this movie, but kind of different. This movie was not fully done. My script's ready to go, and I'm willing to allow like ad-libbing to the levels of Robert Downey Jr. So there's that. Um, here's the basic gist of my movie. My character is an internet reviewer. He's invited all his friends, all his colleagues, everyone to uh, to come for a week in my neck of the woods for a vacation.
Mhm.
And my character is also announcing his engagement. He's The next day is when it all goes straight to hell in a handbasket because he's going to be dealing with interdimensional beings, kidnappings, ruthless dictators,
Cool.
and it's up to James reluctantly leading everyone into battle against the evil Me'od.
Good name.
Yeah, it's kind of a interdimensional Gaelic trying, um, 8th century like Ivor or that type of.
Yeah. Cool.
And I'm hoping that the virtual table read will lead to the actual movie getting made because
I mean,
I'm
well, that's not, I mean, this because yeah, we're really just doing this for fun.
well I'm doing it for fun as well, and I'm also seeing maybe if I can actually get certain people interested in making this movie, so making the movie I had planned. So
Sure.
I mean, not exactly a young dog anymore. I'm closer to 40 than I am 20. So
Same.
I
Let's.
I've been listening to like some clips of things just to kind of like keep myself from losing the last vestiges of my sanity while I'm waiting.
Yeah, well, I just texted Beth to see, make sure we're in the right room.
I think we're in the right room. It said
I mean, I followed the link.
so did I. Alex.
That's a good sign.
Yep. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Hello.
So the first link I tried to go to took me to a different meeting.
Same.
Oh.
Yeah. For the 31st.
Yeah,
Which one is that on the 31st?
that was
here.
Death Become Her.
Yes.
Same here.
Oh, I wish I-
reading.
I wish I could be a part of more of these things, but I've got college and I'm Alex. I don't want to be a pain in the backside, but we kind of like gotta get going. Like the second everyone's here, we gotta get going on the script reading because I need.
He's in a hurry.
I got college in the morning, and I want to be. I kind of need to get done early so I can get a lot of stuff done early in the morning. Then I just gotta get going on the rest of my day. Hello, Beth.
Hey, Beth.
Yeah.
Hello.
Definitely changed.
Listen, just a full notice. The second my other characters are dead, that's it. I gotta tap out. I gotta go get some sleep. I hope
That's
you're okay
fine.
with it.
You can leave
Because
whenever you need to. I just
Deadpool 2.
Yeah, how did that go?
That
Huh? What? Where? How? What?
How did
Your
that
Oh,
go?
background.
it was
That was
pretty
on Monday,
good.
right?
Yeah. It was like a crazy amount of exposition for the stage manager, much like Alex is probably gonna be doing tonight.
Yeah.
But you're a badass, so
Right. But again, Beth, I don't mean to be a party pooper, but the second my characters are dead, that's when I gotta tap
yeah,
out.
I
Get
understand.
sleep.
That's fine.
Yeah, still nothing compares to Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Didn't Roger Ebert write that one?
Did what?
Yes, on a lot of coke.
Roger Ebert, the from Siskel and Ebert.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, I do know who Roger Ebert is.
I mean, he's partly one of the inspirations in my vocation of internet reviewing.
Well, Siskel himself actually came to my junior high school production of The Music Man.
Gene
nice.
Siskel,
Who were you
cool.
on The Music Man? Were you Harold Hill?
No, I was Winthrop. I was very short for my age.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
I would like to see a photo of you and him.
Oh, I didn't get a photo. He wasn't there to actually review it. His grandniece was in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can you imagine him reviewing your production of The Music Man?
Yeah.
Middle school.
Yeah, exactly. In junior high, a junior high.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to give it 2 thumbs down. Sorry, guys.
That was
1 thumb
like-
down because there's only one.
sure. Well, that was that was the show that convinced me that I wasn't a big fan of musicals.
Oh no, well, it is kind of a bear of a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The show was fine. I was just like, these songs have nothing to do with the plot. That's just bad writing.
I
All right,
love the music, man, but I love ridiculous stuff like that. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was that one and The Sound of Music. Sound
Oh
of
God!
Music
See,
drives
those
me
are like
insane.
soul killing. There are different ones that you don't have to.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
like,
like
Sweeney Todd is
they're
good.
also wonderful.
Do you want to know
But it's-
something? In my senior year of high school, I was Judge Brandeis in a production of Annie.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Musicals are not my thing most of the time.
I mean,
Except you were in
Like-
Hair.
the one musical I wish I'd been a part of was The Producers.
Hair is one of the few musicals that to me makes sense for the
Which
people to
is
break
funny
into
because it
song.
has no plot.
But it makes sense for the characters to break into song because they're hippies.
All right.
Well, see, for me, it's what? So like,
I wonder
Sweeney Todd
if
is one of the
Sadie
good ones
forgot.
because the songs are actually relevant to the plot. That is my number one criteria.
Well, the musical I always want to be a part of is The Producers.
Yeah, that one too. That one also. Songs perfectly line up with the plot and are hilarious.
Yeah, I actually did something similar to I actually had to break up. I actually did a review on this on The Producers, and both of all the versions, like the stage version, the movie, and both movie versions, and I kind of focused my review into like the 2006 or 2005 version of the musical,
Sure.
and I just had to play off all these crazy moments that happened, including musical numbers,
Telling me that I'm using the
And-
wrong link. Huh.
and it turned
Was
out
one
to
of
be
the links messed up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of the Death Became
Sorry.
and,
The,
be-
the one
Yeah.
with the go-to link thing itself.
and because it was
There she
it
is.
was a hello
Hello.
everyone.
Uh,
It was so long I had to break it up into two parts, and it became my worst scene review for a while because I had to break it up in two parts, and I promised myself I would never do something that crazy long again, even if it was just for like parody work or satire.
In my opinion, there are three musicals that I've seen that don't make me go, why the hell are they singing? Hair, the Buffy musical episode, and the Scrubs musical episode.
Well, they
Oh.
explain
Hair,
it in the
Buffy, and
Buffy episode
Scrubs?
because it's a spell.
No, okay.
And according to
Makes
Scrubs, and to Scrubs,
Scrubs is because
I'll change my background later.
it was called the reason Scrubs had a musical number is because the woman who was in there, she had a brain tumor,
Yeah.
which was making
Yeah, so she's here singing.
Okay, sorry, I'm just pulling up my script and stuff, and then we can start.
Cool.
Okay.
I haven't actually finished the script and I've never seen the movie, so I have no idea where I have no idea
That's
what
okay.
happens in, like
It's
the second
actually
half.
great because
It's really, really good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be
but the
surprised.
script is not
I-
like the movie. It's not it's
Yeah, you
not
said.
that close.
Well, so that's
The
The movie
movie is
I would highly
1.5 hours. It's
but
relatively
I don't
short.
even know what's gonna happen like throughout the end of this reading because I haven't even finished the script yet.
Perfect.
Yes.
I
will-
think my
always fun.
character is non-existent
My
in the final movie.
There's
Alright.
my script.
all right. You got your script, Beth?
You found it?
Yep.
Yeah, but I have to look up something else real fast, and then we
I-
can start.
Stupid computer is being stupid, but I will have it
Blah
up in a
blah
second.
blah 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 blah.
Y'all, it's been
I'm so tempted to keep my background because my character likes hot guys. I have a hot guy behind me.
Ah,
You can have a hot guy behind you. That's perfect.
That's totally.
I love your rig. Look at you. Okay, I'm ready. Whenever everybody is everybody
I'm ready,
here? I
Brock.
think everybody's here.
I'm-
I'm
Blah, blah,
ready.
blah, blah, blah. Everyone is here.
I'll change
Let's
my
do
background.
this. Ow!
All right. The Final Girls by M.A. Fortin and Joshua John Miller. Revised draft. Should be interesting. Over black, final girl, noun. She alone looks death in the face, but she alone also finds the strength to slay the killer. She screams, staggers, falls, rises, and screams again. She is abject terror personified. Carol Clover, Men, Women, and Chainsaws. Exterior strip mall, San Fernando Valley, day. On a bench outside the Mucho Queso taco joint, Maxine Max Cartwright sits waiting patiently, staring at the freak downpour pelting the landscape. Suitcase by her side. She's pretty, well coiffed, a potential prom queen in the making. Title card, 3 years ago. In the parking lot beyond, a 94 Camry with a dented passenger door swings into a space. Her mother is here. Max perks up and stands immediately, but her mother isn't getting out. She's too busy primping, checking her hair and makeup. After several beats, the passenger window rolls down, and we see Amanda Cartwright, 43, the epitome of aging Los Angeles blonde beach beauty, smiling and waving apologetically to Max. Max smiles indulgently and raises her own hand in a mild wave. Exterior casting office moments later, Amanda walking briskly toward the entrance, Max a few paces behind. Then as they reach the entrance,
Okay, I should be out in about a half hour, an hour if they work with me.
Well, Mom, can I come in?
Max, honey, no. If you come in with me, it ages me 10 years. You know what I mean? Here, get a soda and wait for me in the car, okay?
Amanda gives Max a kiss and disappears inside the office. Max stands there, a thick lipstick print remaining on her cheek. Enter Amanda's car 45 minutes later. Max noisily sucks the last of her Diet Coke out of her cup. She sighs, looks in the messy, cluttered back seat, a bunch of clothes, hairbrushes, etc. At Max is on the floor of the passenger side. Max's feet, I'm guessing, Kinko's box of resumes and headshots. She opens the box and grabs one and looks at it. Amanda's headshot is airbrushed within an inch of its life. She reads the resume on the reverse. Credits like Heart to Heart, Coed Massacre, Star Beast, Lambada Jungle, Law and Order, and most prominently at the top, Camp Bloodbath. Max drops the resume and exits the car, walks back through the strip mall corridor towards the casting office, where through the window, she spots Amanda still sitting in the waiting area, worriedly reciting her lines from her sides under her breath. After Max watches her for a few moments, Amanda is called in for her audition. Her worry disappears as she instantly smiles genially, falsely, walking into the room. Max starts to walk back to the car, and she's only about 10 yards from the casting office when Amanda emerges from its doors. We watch her walk defeated towards us. It's heartbreaking. Then when she gets to Max, she gives a smile as falsely confident as the one she gave to the casting director.
It went good.
In Amanda's car later, still raining, the car is in the middle of a long drive-through line at Jack in the Box. Silence. Max is acutely aware of her mother's quiet dismay. They pull up to the window, get their milkshakes, and drive off down Ventura. After several moments,
I'm going to be in AP Calculus next year, and me and Vicky made the cheerleading squad, so I have to get a uniform and everything.
It's fantastic, honey, but I don't have the cash for that right now.
Oh, you don't have to. It's okay.
Max shuts up, looks out her window, and sips her milkshake. Pulling up to a stoplight, Amanda looks at Max and, sensing her melancholy,
Okay, enough with the moping. Know what I mean? We're gonna have fun. Who cares about those assholes anyway? We're gonna party, right?
the radio is playing Nina's 99 Luftballons. Amanda starts dancing in her seat, smiling at Max, who smiles shyly. Amanda grabs Max's arms and moves them around. Max laughs, and they drive on, dancing in their seats, singing along to the song. Max gets carried away and spills her milkshake all over the Kinko's box of headshots.
Oh God!
Amanda, still driving, reaches in the back seat for something to clean the mess. The rain outside is getting heavier. The car is going faster than it should be. Amanda undoes her seatbelt.
Oh, honey, those cost a fortune.
I'm sorry, it was an accident.
Okay, it's okay. No big deal. No big deal.
Mom!
Amanda looks up, slams on the brakes as she gets to a red light. The car hydroplanes, jackknifing into the intersection, directly into an oncoming car, creating a head-on collision into Amanda's side. Slam to black. We hear the Nationals' Blood Buzz, Ohio. Interior high school girls' bathroom, present-day morning. Slow motion dolly down a seemingly endless row of sinks against a long mirror, lingering on various types of girls, 14 to 17, looking at themselves in the mirror, doing makeup, gossiping, laughing, talking on the phone. Title card, The Final Girls, until we arrive at the bathroom's far wall, where, leaning by a window, Max Cartwright, now 17, dressed in flannel, dark pants, iPod combat boots, newsboy cap, still gorgeous but looking more like Joan Jett's illegitimate daughter, fuck yes, is smoking a cigarette by the window. She flicks it out the window and notices two preppy girls at the mirror giving her the side eye. Max adjusts her Ray-Bans over her eyes, discreetly giving the girls the finger as she pushes the frames up over her nose, and she walks away.
So, Pulsophone, who wants to tell me about her? Max, how about you?
Interior Classics class moments later, Max, still wearing sunglasses, her iPod still on, listening to the national song. She doesn't notice the teacher looming over her. The teacher, 40s, exhausted, infinitely patient, gently pulls the iPod buds out of Max's ears, and Max looks up.
Max, her phone.
Persephone. Persephone.
Max looks up at the words on the board. Persephone, Hermes, Underworld, and is clearly unprepared.
This should be easy, Max. We all wrote a paper on it today. Correct, everybody?
The class mutters their assent. Max hedges, thinking of what to say. She looks right and catches sight of Chris Briggs, 17, athletic, handsome, clean-cut, but with mischievous eyes, looking at her expectantly, encouragingly. After a moment, Max looks at the teacher, shrugs, mildly embarrassed. The teacher sighs.
Okay, anyone else? Yes, Lauren.
Behind Max, a perky blonde Lauren Gillespie, 17, has raised her hand.
She like pomegranates?
And the bell rings. Time cut. The class is leaving, but the teacher waves Max over to the desk. Max shuffles over, not wanting to hear it. In the corner, Chris listens to their conversation.
I don't see an essay from you on my desk, Max.
I was sick. Sorry.
You already have 8 absences, 5 top G's, any more and you flunked the plus. I heard you're failing calculus. Are you trying not to graduate?
Did he freeze?
Yeah.
Wait, what
Mike,
happened? I
there?
scrolled forward.
Yeah, Michael froze.
I'm scowling
no!
so hard right now.
I'll fill in on the teacher.
No,
Look.
no. Hold on. Let me message him.
He's just frozen. He's not disconnected completely.
Rose.
You froze.
Yeah, we should wait because otherwise it might throw a wrench in up.
Okay, I messaged him.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. We're probably gonna log back on.
Yeah.
Come back, teacher.
Michael, come back.
No. It's messaging me now.
Can't hold the scowl forever.
How are my mischievous eyes?
Scowl.
I could.
This is the scowl that never ends.
Okay, he's about to come back.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. But-
Yay. Oh,
Okay. What happened, Mike?
he had internet issues. Obviously, he froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I had internet issues as
There he
well.
is. Okay.
They're all taken, you know.
So we're still in the second half of your line there.
All good.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Look, I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't think you were the smartest of the smartest kids in here, which is why Chris Bagans is going to tutor you.
I don't need any help.
He's going to tutor you, and I expect an essay on
Persephone.
Persephone on my desk from you next week, or else, okay, no argument.
Max sighs and starts to walk out, and Chris hurries over to Max, smiling.
Hey, sorry she saddled you with this. Sucks. I just don't care, you know?
I don't mind. And she didn't assign me. I volunteered.
You're weird.
Okay, I guess I'm weird. See you after school.
Max watches him go, perplexed.
Chris Briggs volunteered.
In the cafeteria later, Max is sitting with her close friend, Gertie Michaels, 17. Muffin top, bad skin, braces, glasses, saxophone case. Nice. Gertie makes Max look like Megan Fox. Gertie is parted, shy, and has a slight limp. They sit in the sad Siberia section of the caf.
Was he like, I volunteered, or was it more I here, James, you should mute yourself. We can hear every sound.
Sorry.
Or more, I volunteered.
Please. He's dating Vicky Summers.
Nuh-uh. Chris dumped Vicky this past weekend at the Galleria. God, he totally wants you. Nobody ever goes after me like that.
Uh-huh, right. Sure. I'm like fully dilated.
Oh my God. Vicky and Lauren are staring at us. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look.
Angle on Lauren sitting at a cool kids table with Vicky Summers, 17, gorgeous, warm / acerbic. Even her blood is type A. She looks distraught, to say the least. She bores holes into Max's back with her eyes.
Why Max? I don't get it. She's like a walking suicide hotline. Is it because I'm fat? I'm stuck at a size 2. I mean, it's not like I don't try.
Time for rebound sex? What about Scott Jennings? I hear he's totally huge. Felicia Woodruff had her first time with him and she said she hadn't cried that hard since 9/11.
Vicky's eyes well up. She's genuinely hurting about this.
I'm too fragile for sex right now. But I'm getting a serious revenge boner for Max.
Lauren, looking up, smiles. Back to Max and Gertie. Gertie can barely keep it together. Max is jumping out of her skin since she's not able to turn and look.
Vicky is crying. Genius. If I looked like Vicky, I would be like the biggest slut.
If you looked like her, I'd have to force feed you chocolate till your period came back.
Uh-oh, your #1 fan at 12 o'clock.
Duncan White's 18, horror nerd extraordinaire with lingering acne scars wanders over drinking a giant can of Monster, twitching with the monster, probably not anticipation. He sits next to Gertie and slides a Bijou Theater flyer over to Max. On it is a poster for Camp Bloodbath featuring her mother screaming and running away from Hatchet Face, the hulking lunatic in overalls, wielding a machete. Max is immediately uncomfortable.
Duncan, please. No, I can't.
I already told like 4 horror blogs that Amanda Cartwright's daughter is going to be there tonight, along with the rest of the cast. I even got you a present as a thank you.
Duncan, it's too soon for me.
But all these guys I know are so excited to meet you. I promised them I'd convince you to come.
Great. Guy's old enough to be my father asking if I can scream as good as my mom. Every girl's dream. Forget it, Gertie. I'll call you later.
I'll do your calculus for homework for a whole semester.
Max stops in her tracks and turns around. Angle on Vicky and Lauren, whose curiosities have been piqued. What are these nerds yammering about? Back to Max.
No.
2 semesters.
You do need help there, Max. Your GPA's in rehab.
Fine. 2 semesters. And I'll be there, but I won't watch the movie, okay?
Yes, awesome. And we'll hang out after the movie, just like the 2 of us or something. Okay, later.
He faces Gertie, regards him pitifully.
Give it up, Duncan. Never gonna happen. Besides, I don't think she's ever even seen the movie.
Duncan, hearing this, is deflated, but Gertie smiles sweetly.
But I'll hang with you after you want.
That sounds okay. Maybe later. Whatever.
Gertie alone sighs and takes a bite of a brownie. In the girls' bathroom, moments later, Gertie flossing in the bathroom, and in the middle of it, she stops staring at herself. Her size, her acne, her ungainliness in the mirror in silence. Several beats of this until suddenly off screen we hear the door open and shut. When Gertie turns to face it, Vicky and Lauren are standing there smiling. Uh-oh.
So, what's the story?
Food gets caught in my braces after meals, so I...
Not that. The movie tonight. Max. And don't lie.
Off Gertie's nervous darting eyes, we hear a deafening clap of thunder and cut to black. Exterior Cartwright home, San Fernando Valley later. The modest, unimposing colonial home sits on a nondescript street. Clouds are coming in fast overhead. We push in to see Max sitting at the front window looking up at the sky. It starts to rain and she walks out of frame. In her bedroom, papered with Joan Jett posters, Franz Kafka print, and an Edward Scissorhands poster, a messy bed, handwritten quotes from Dorothy Parker and Nietzsche on the walls, Max puts on a Lou Reed record and her phone beeps. She checks the text. It's from her dad. Staying extra night in Detroit. Sorry, kiddo, love you. She tosses the phone on the bed and grabs a prescription pill bottle from her nightstand. Tries to pour a capsule out in her hand, but whoops, it's empty. She frowns, then tosses the lot in the trash. In the living room, Max goes to a drawer near the TV and opens it. Inside are a bunch of old VHS tapes, and Max fishes one out.
Okay, wait. Okay, go. I'm ready.
Moments later, Max on the couch next to her bulldog Frankie watching an old home movie on the TV. We switch angles to watch it too. On the screen, a 10-year-old Max is next to Amanda, who's 39, in a rainy backyard. They hold umbrellas and lip sync to Singing in the Rain. The song ends and Amanda kisses Max on the cheek, then turns to the camera and blows a kiss right at us. Present time on the couch, Max catches the kiss, smiling wistfully. Then she looks at the clock. It's 4:52 p.m. Cut to close-ups of old drawings depicting the abduction of Persephone, Hades, and Hermes' descent into the underworld.
Persephone was the daughter of Zeus, the king of the underworld. Hades was obsessed with her, so he took her below the earth into hell to keep her forever.
Interior Cartwright living room later. Max and Chris sitting on the floor, books spread out, rain still falling outside.
Her boyfriend Hermes was pissed, though, so he dropped everything and traveled to the underworld to get her out. But he couldn't, so he struck a deal with Hades. She'd stay in the underworld during fall and winter, and she'd get to leave during spring and summer.
So they just wishboned her? Was Hermes crazy or just stupid?
I think neither. I think he was just brave.
The contradiction hangs in the air for a few moments.
Well, okay, I better start getting ready. I have this movie thing to do. It's one of my mom's movies. They want me to stand up there and talk about how much she loved shooting it, and they made an offer I can't refuse.
Cool. Which movie?
In the garage moments later, an overhead bulb is clicked on, shedding light on a Camp Bloodbath poster. Max shuffles over to a box and thumbs through old lobby cards from the movie and shows them to Chris. He focuses on one that shows Amanda sitting on a hay bale, screaming.
Camp Bloodbath? No way. I didn't know the Bijou was running it tonight.
She played this bimbo who screws like half the counselors, and then Hatchet Face, the bad guy, cuts her up and locks her in a barn and sets it on fire. Good times.
Oh, that's awesome. I saw your mom in Star Beast like 5 times when I was a kid. Love that movie.
Yeah. She had a run of scary movies, pretty good ones. She always played the hot chick who dies. Secretly, though, she wanted to play the girl who kicks the bad guy's ass, you know?
I must be the only person who hasn't seen it.
You should. It's totally the Sophie's Choice of dead teenager movies.
Chris looks at a picture of Amanda that Max is holding.
She's really beautiful.
Right?
You look just like her.
That's what my dad says. So...
Tense beat. Max stares at her mom's picture, then moves to put it back in the box.
here's all that's left of her.
You okay?
What? No, I'm a broken doll, scarred for life. Yeah, I'm fine. Look, I'm not like a moron, you know? In school,
I've known you since 4th grade, Max. I know how smart you are. So can I come with you to the movie?
seriously?
You said I should see it, right?
Oh, yeah, right. Cool.
The doorbell rings. In the foyer moments later, Max and Chris enter and open the door, and Vicky and Lauren, dressed and made up to the trampy nines, are standing there.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
Vicky, Lauren, and it's not even Halloween.
Yeah, Max, maybe this year you could go as a girl. I just have something to say to Chris. Lauren will mediate. Her father's a couples counselor.
My father's a couples counselor.
Chris, I just want to say I'm cool with whatever you want. I just hope we can be friends, is all.
All right, Vicky. Chris, how does that make you feel?
Good. Awesome.
Max's brow furrows. Vicky's attitude can't be for real.
Oh, I feel so much better. What's there to drink around here?
There's Drano under the sink.
I heard that, Max.
In the living room later, the liquor cabinet's been raided. Lauren texting on the couch. Max not drinking anymore. Vicky and Lauren do a shot. Chris smiling discreetly, embarrassed at Max. Music blasting.
Vicky, read this text for me.
Jesus, Lauren, get it together. Lauren's dyslexic. In American history last week, she told the class that Bobby Kennedy was shot by Duran Duran.
I can read. The letters just get mixed up sometimes.
Mother, father, this stuff is strong. Whew. Not from concentrate.
Vicky, I think you've had enough.
Probably. So what are you guys doing tonight?
Studying.
Totally. I can tell. Well, can I hang with you guys? Max, we could ride our bikes to the DQ like we used to when we were 12. Max totally had a crush on me. She used to beg to ride my handlebars.
Oh, Vicky, that's not true. You were at least 15 before your mustache grew in.
Lauren guffaws but is silenced by Vicky's glare.
Anyway, we're going to the Bijou.
No way. For Camp Bloodbath? Us too. Vicky, did you hear that?
Like, OMG, what a coincidence! Exclamation point.
Wow. You should, like, totes come with.
Vicky, you don't even like horror movies.
Nuh-uh. I love horror movies. I've never seen the original, but I've seen parts 3 and 4 on cable. See, this is what you should know about Chris. I never felt I was being heard. Get it?
Chris, how does that make you feel?
Shut up, Lauren. We better go. My car.
She stands and walks out. Lauren follows. Chris gives an apologetic look to Max, and Max smiles grimly. Outside the house, moments later, as the doors on Vicky's Escalade slam shut and peels away from the curb. In the car, Vicky drives, Chris is shotgun, Lauren and Max in the back seat. Max double checks her seatbelt, already uncomfortable. Vicky is already driving faster than the speed limit. Lauren?
Oh, Lauren.
This guy last year saw me at the mall and asked me to be in a horror movie. But I said no because I hadn't acted since I was like 10 when I got called back twice for that Disney movie about the cat who becomes president.
Wow, that's wow. Vicky, could you?
Something wrong, Max?
Vicky guns the car faster. Max is starting to look queasy. Out the window, the scenery is starting to whip by.
Vicky?
You comfortable back there, Max?
Max grips her armrest as Vicky goes faster
Please stop.
and faster.
Stop.
Just as Vicky pulls into a parking space with brute force. They're just down the road from the Bijou. Max is trembling. Chris looks at her, concerned.
What's wrong, Max? Oh no, was I going too fast?
Vicky turns around to glare at Max, who stares at her for a beat, giving her a look that screams, "Who are you?" After a moment, Max bolts out of the car and starts walking down the street. Vicky's bravado suddenly fades.
God, I'm just kidding around.
Max! Vicky, what the hell is going on?
Everyone knows she's damaged. I'm doing you a favor, Chris.
And Chris gives her a furious look, then darts out of the car. Silence. Vicky, stung, suddenly gets a wave of guilt as she looks at Max walking away in her rearview mirror.
God, she acts like you brought her to Guantanamo to get like motorboated or something.
Shut up, Lauren.
Exterior street moments later, Chris hustles down the street after a livid Max.
Max, wait up, please.
Max stops. After a second, she sits on the curb and Chris joins her.
I'm sorry. Never mind. I don't even like taking the bus to school. Vicky knows this. She just thought I'd freak. Whatever. I'm fine.
Chris, after a moment, scoots closer to Max. They stare in silence at the rowdy crowd heading into the Bijou.
You want to go home? We can do whatever. Just forget about Vicky. Don't let her win.
It's so weird that we're hanging out again, you know?
Chris laughs a little and Max does too. Max's gaze travels to Vicky's Escalade. Vicky steps out of it looking at them, curious. Max's blood boils.
Come on, I'll walk you home.
No.
You want to be alone?
No. I want to hang with you. Take me to the movies.
Chris smiles and they walk into the theater. In the lobby, as Max and Chris walk inside, a guy dressed as Hatchet-Face, the movie's villain, jumps out in front of her yelling, then laughs and runs away. Max is terrified but forces herself to laugh when she sees Chris laughing. He puts his arm around her, and behind him, we can see that Vicky and Lauren have come inside too, watching them. The Bijou's assistant manager, Duncan, whom we saw at the beginning of the movie, fielding patrons, nearly does a spit to Max, and he rushes over.
It's just starting. You guys, Amanda Cartwright's daughter is here.
A round of hearty claps and woos found. A few of the Camp Bloodbath faithful start to crowd Max. Chris puts his arm around her and Duncan shoos them away.
You'll have to wait for the Q&A. People give her space. Listen, here are gift certificates to Pancake Hug. I'll text you when the movie's over so you can come back, okay? But before you go, well, maybe I shouldn't give it to you.
What is it?
Duncan smiles, relenting, and produces a musty burlap sack. Max, puzzled, opens it, and her face falls in surprise as she reveals what's inside, a machete. It glints under the lights. It's an impressive weapon.
Duncan, is this?
Yeah, it's the real machete from Camp Bloodbath. This is the one they used in your mom's movie. This is Hatchet-Face's machete in The Final Girl. Used it to kill him in Camp Bloodbath. I met this guy at HorrorCon who knew this guy who was this weirdo who collected scare flick weapons and used them in God knows what. But he got arrested and his ex-girlfriend sold it to me.
This is an incredibly thoughtful gift and weird, but wow, thank you.
Dude, this must have cost you a fortune.
Well, it was worth it. I just figured you should have it. Keep it. When you're at Pancake Hug, don't freak people out with that.
Max smiles at Duncan, touched. Duncan smiles, empathetic.
Oh, so we're not going to watch the movie?
Well, I've seen it like a bunch of times, so I was all whatever, but If you're disappointed or
Suddenly, Gertie, dressed in an ill-fitting usher uniform, rushes over, beaming at the sight of Max with Chris.
What a sweet couple you both make. I recommend the Belgian chocolate pancakes. God, that makes me sound like such a pig, doesn't it?
I get it. No, that's cool. Let's get pancakes then.
Max's POV. The lobby goes quieter, and we hear Max's breathing. She looks at Duncan.
You know, if you're scared, that's fine. That's totally fine.
And Max's POV pans over to see Vicky glaring at her from across the lobby. Then over to Chris, who's looking at her with an indulgent smile. Then to Lauren, who's eating Reese's Pieces, bored, between two hatchet-faced wannabes. Then over to a picture of her mother from the movie in a lobby case. She's laughing, looking gorgeous. Max breaks her stare from the picture, exhales, and looks at Chris.
no, I want to watch the movie for Chris. He's a camp bloodbath virgin, so
Duncan hides his dismay. Max clearly likes this guy.
Well, you're gonna love it. Just follow Gertie.
Max gives Duncan a sweet peck on the cheek for the gift and goes off with Chris. Duncan tries not to crumble. In the theater, Camp Bloodbath has already started, and they sit in the front row. Max wedges the wrapped machete between their seats.
I'll be back later.
Gertie runs back up the aisle. Chris takes Max's hand. Max just faces forward, trying to keep a poker face. Butterflies. Behind them, Vicky and Lauren are 2 rows back, watching them. Off the hand-holding, they look at each other like, what the fuck? On the screen, a frightened boy, 12, is being cornered by bullies, also 12, outside a summer camp cabin. We pop into the screen. Exterior camp cabin night. The frightened boy is taunted by boys who carry small torches, and there's no way for the boy to get away from them. He's got a lazy eye and a limp. Next to the bullies, a young girl, 12, cries, distraught.
Come on, you retard! What? Why you so scared, huh?
leave Joey alone, you guys. Stop.
Then one of the bullies shoves the torch too close and it burns the boy's face. He screams and falls to the ground, and the young girl screams. And one of the bullies goes to the boy, instantly sorry. But the ailing boy is reaching for a machete, leaning against the cabin wall, picking it up, and then he stands and brings it down on the bully's skull. Blood flies all over him and the cabin wall. Interior mental hospital night. 2 orderlies drag the straight-jacketed, disfigured boy down a filthy hallway, tossing him into a room. We close in on the little window in the door, nothing for a moment, and suddenly the boy's scarred, bloodshot eye pops into view, and we cut to black. Title card, 5 years later. Exterior mental hospital room day. We're in the hospital hallway. A nurse with huge boobs is preparing a syringe. A doctor who smokes looks through a cell window at a sleeping patient. A hulking giant of a man with an obscured face. Inside, the cell is decorated with summer camp paraphernalia. All the pennants and pictures are marked Camp Bluebird and defaced with demented scribbles.
I need my nurse. I need the nurse.
Nurse?
Fuck, I was muted, but
What is it, Doctor?
Nothing, Nurse Harris. I am just concerned for Joey. It has been 5 years to the day that he was brutally beaten and scarred by those terrible children at that summer camp, and still he shows no signs of improvement. He may never be seen again, Nurse Harris.
Yes, Doctor.
They enter the room, and the nurse goes to the sleeping, scarred man and preps the syringe. Then the scarred man's eyes open and he sits up suddenly. In the theater, the whole audience screams, thrilled. Back on the screen, the scarred man rips open the screaming nurse's uniform and, grabbing her hand, forces her to stab herself over and over in the throat with her syringe. The scarred man walks toward the doctor.
Please, 9.
And
Ah!
he strangles him with his stethoscope, causing his eyes to pop out of his head. The scarred man stands, taking a pillowcase from the bed. He rips an eye hole in it and puts it on, staring in the mirror as a thunderclap sounds outside the hospital window. He has become Hatchet Face. In the theater, the audience goes ballistic. We close in on Max, who's laughing at the violence. Chris, too. Pushing back, we see Vicky sulking, Lauren texting as usual. Then pushing further back is a stoner kid with a lit joint in his hand. He's nodding off, and the joint falls out of his hand, rolling under the seats. Down, 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 until it hits a pile of dropped napkins soaked in popcorn oil. They start to smoke. Back on the screen, exterior Forest Road morning. A beat-up Volkswagen hippie van cruises down a road, then slows down next to a crazy old fart, late 60s, who's riding his bicycle down the path. The passenger window opens, and it reveals Amanda Cartwright in the part of Tina, age 22, but playing 17, looking gorgeous, stunning, feathered hair, headband, reverse cleavage t-shirt. The character is essentially a total bimbo. Back in the theater, we close in on Max, who stares up at her gorgeous mother's image in wonder. Chris glances at Max, holds her hand tighter. Gertie and Duncan sneak into seats next to them. Back on the screen.
Hey, I'm Tina. Do you know the way to Camp Bluebird?
It's cursed! You're all doomed if you go there!
God, bag your face, you weirdo.
Back in the theater, under the seats, the napkins are on fire. The flames are lapping higher, catching on to sagging upholstery from old seats, and we rise up, cruising up the aisle to see a bunch of drunk kids barge into the theater, sneaking a full econo-sized bottle of Everclear alcohol. Back on the screen, Tina, Max's mom, is chewing gum, her knees up, painting her toenails on the van's dashboard. Behind her, Paula, the good girl, is shaking her head.
Paula! Oh, Danya! Is she there? I don't know if she realized Paula was so early in the script. Danya, you there?
Tina, do you ever think about anything but the boys at camp?
Thank you. Sure. I think about all the boys in LA I'm going to meet when I move there.
Back in the theater, the drunk kids try to step over people to get to seats, but then one of them drops the bottle of Everclear. Back on the screen, Tina laughs, tosses her hair. In the theater, Max laughs, enjoying herself, tears in her eyes at the sight of her mother's beauty. Under the seats, the spilled Everclear is streaming all the way down towards the flames. Back on the screen,
I bet this will be a summer I'll never forget.
back on the theater under the seats, and the Everclear makes contact with the flames, igniting, and a carpet of fire flies all the way up the theater under the seats. Immediate pandemonium as patrons scream and stand, freaking out, the fire quickly spreading. They start trampling each other as we whoosh down the aisle, as Max, Chris, Duncan, and Gertie stand up terrified.
I was muted. My apologies.
Where's the sprinklers?
The four of them look quickly up the aisle. It's so crowded, there's no way they'll get out the way they went in. The emergency exit doors next to the screen are crammed too, and the fire is even closer to those doors anyway.
What do we do?
Max looks at the screen, realizing something.
Duncan, is there an exit behind the screen?
Yeah, it's for maintenance. Let's go, go.
Chris jumps over the seats and gets up on the little dais, helping Max, Gertie, and Duncan climb up, and they push against the screen, trying to tear into it. Max looks back at the commotion to see Vicky and Lauren looking totally helpless and terrified.
Vicky, Lauren, here.
Max reaches for them, helps them climb up, and returns to the screen, pushing against it. Slow motion, silence, only the sound of Max's breathing as she looks into the projected image of her mother's face, her eyes, and then Max looks back at her seat and sees the wrapped machete there, its blade twinkling at her in the light. Max jumps down, grabbing the machete, runs back toward the dais, jumping up, raising the machete which glints with a blue-white sheen from the still-running projector's light. As Max raises it, about to slam it into the screen when we cut hard to white, then extreme close-up on Max's weary eyes opening, and in her eyes we see reflected flames, the shadows of panicked cinema patrons flailing about. We hear their screams echoing, sounding far away. Then in their eyes we can see that these images are disappearing, as though they're fading out of view. Medium shot of Max, who sits bolt upright, looking around, and she stands up quickly, trembling. There's nothing but clear blue sky above, trees around her. It appears she's on a dirt road. She winces in pain, coughing like crazy from the smoke she inhaled. The machete is nowhere to be seen. Max looks all around her. The woods are a saturated, rich color that was absent from the world before. And then she turns to find Chris right there.
Max!
Oh, God. Where the hell are we?
I don't know. Did the theater burn down?
Where did everybody go? What's where's the machete? I had it when where did it go?
But then Max and Chris hear a rustling in the trees. They whirl around to find Lauren standing there holding her iPhone, whimpering.
I'm cold and there's no surface.
Different trees rustle, startling everyone into looking at them, and a hacking, soiled Vicky stumbles out of them, spitting a leaf out of her mouth.
Is Vicky here?
Okay.
Tanya! Did she go away?
Really missing. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Vicky.
Can't find her. We really can't find her.
Oh my God, she
Vicky
died
got lost
early.
trying to find the
She
car.
Maybe she
disappeared.
found the car.
I can't find the car.
I can't find the car.
Nobody can find the car.
It's okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Go for it, James. Keep going.
Wow, I'm alive. I'm alive. Am I
Gertie
alive?
walks over to them, dirty but somehow okay.
We're dead, aren't we? Because everything's pretty. Just like that horrible Robin Williams movie.
Okay. Everyone chill. This is a road, and we can just wait for someone to, I don't know.
Max, why does it feel like someone else is here too?
Max looks around. Chris is right. Then she looks in the distance and sees a glinting of light reflecting on a bicycle coming down the road towards them.
Someone's coming.
She moves closer to what's coming, and we see that it's the crazy old fart from Camp Bloodbath. He looks at Max confused, and he rides the bike right into a tree, hitting it with a bang and falling down, tumbling off the side of the road into a ravine. The arriving gang stare in disbelief. Then Vicky walks toward the edge of the road, and suddenly the crazy old fart pops up, and Vicky squeals in surprise.
It's cursed! You're all doomed if it go there!
Go where? Where are we?
Crazy old man?
The crazy old fart. Go where? Where are we?
Michael, come
All
back.
doomed!
Why does he keep saying that?
And then crazy old fart gets back on the bike looking confused and rides back the way he came. Gertie looks nauseous. We hear the opening strains of Dire Straits' Money for Nothing as Max turns around to spy an oncoming Volkswagen van. And Max recognizes the van. Her brow furrows as we switch to slow motion. We close in on Max's face as the grim, unthinkable reality sets in as the Volkswagen hippie van brakes next to the gang and the passenger window slowly lowers. Max's eyes widen in disbelief at what she sees. The whole gang's eyes widen too, because it's Tina from Camp Bloodbath, Amanda Cartwright, Max's mom poking her head out the window, gorgeous, smiling.
Hey, I'm Tina. Do you know the way to Camp Bluebird?
Mom?
Oh my God. Vicky?
Vicky.
Where's Vicky?
Vicky, we're on page 29 of the PDF.
We're dreaming. This is a dream.
Max can't move, but then she shakes her head and hurries away. The rest of the gang follows. As they walk away,
Oh my God. I didn't take my meds today. I'm having a psychotic episode.
What? We're all having your psychotic episode?
behind them, the Volkswagen van speeds away out of sight. The gang watches it go.
So there's that. Let's just wait for another car, right?
The gang nods nervously. Then Gertie vomits. Time cut, title card, 90 minutes later. The gang is sweaty, exhausted, walking lamely along the side of the same road.
How the fuck have we not even passed a gas station or something? This is the valley. There should be overpriced chain cafes every 20 feet.
Wait.
In the distance, the VW van is coming again. The gang freezes in disbelief as it stops, and Tina's head pokes out again as though for the first time.
Hey, I'm Tina. Do you know the way to Camp Bluebird?
Yeah. Straight ahead.
Rock and roll. Thanks.
And the VW van speeds away again. Max closes her eyes, then opens them again as if to will herself to wake up from this bizarre dream.
Oh, fuck. Are we all dead?
Lauren, what do you think?
We're not dead. We're insane.
We pan over to Duncan, who looks at his watch, setting the timer on it to count down from 90 minutes again.
No, we're not. And I don't think we're in the valley anymore.
Time cut, title card, another 90 minutes later. The gang is sitting by the side of the road, exhausted.
You nerd. What the hell are we waiting for?
Right now.
Duncan's watch beeps repeatedly, and he looks down the road into the distance. And the VW van is coming along again. It pulls up, and Tina pops her head out.
Hey, I'm Tina. Do you know the way to Camp Bluebird?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we do. We're counselors as well. We could show you if you give us a ride.
Sure. Hop in.
Chris grabs Duncan as the van door slides open.
Dude, what are you doing?
We don't have a choice in the matter. Do you?
Chris relents, and Vicky walks past him into the van, along with Lauren and Gert.
Fuck it. I'm dehydrated. Come on, Chris.
Chris gets in. Max is the sole person still standing on the road. Tina pokes her head out again and smiles at Max.
Well, you coming?
As we close in on Max, who's incapable of processing. In the van, moments later, the gang is piled in the back. Kurt looks 25, one earring, a smarmy, preppy James Spader look-alike is driving. Tina in the front seat, and Paula looks 25, innocent, brainy, conservative clothes, is with the rest of the real kids. Max can't take her eyes off of Tina. Neither can Duncan. Vicky and Lauren gape at Paula, who gets self-conscious. Gertie just looks sick, rocking back and forth in the way back.
Vicky.
Can you guys give us a ride back to the Bijou?
Maybe we call a cab when we get there.
There are no cabs at Camp Bluebird. We're lucky to even have running water.
Paula laughs breezily, and Vicky stares at her like she's got two heads.
She does have two heads. It's the same person. I can't believe you guys are counselors too. We've never had this many before.
That's my mom.
Where are your guys' suitcases? You guys' clothes are all funny. Says the girl in acid-washed mom jeans.
We packed light.
Tina whirls around in her seat to address them.
I pack light too. All I brought for the summer is a toothbrush and a diaphragm.
Is he gonna be so? Oh.
How did you know?
Max
What?
spies Kurt's eyes in the rearview mirror, checking out her cleavage, and Max covers up, grossed out.
I just want to get a tan before school's up again.
Well, Kurt, I hope I have time to fill out my college applications before all the kids arrive.
Max leans over to get a better look at Tina, who then whirls around again, staring at her vacantly but friendly.
What's up?
You have any gum?
Max shakes her head. Tina frowns, then realizes something, laughing out loud.
Oh my God. I'm already chewing some. See?
She pokes the gum out at Max with her tongue. Max is speechless and almost faints, but Chris catches her. Tina watches, perplexed, then shrugs it off as the van approaches the wooden arches of Camp Bluebird. Bucolic, gorgeous, scenic. Everything about this world feels like an 80s slasher movie, Warm colors, soft lighting, it's distinctly different than the real world.
This is going to be a summer I'll never forget.
Exterior of the camp quad, moments later, the van pulls over in the center of camp next to the giant lodge where the counselors all sleep. Down the path are campers' cabin, and further beyond are the lake dock, a barn, and a modest chapel. The gang of real kids pile out and stare in disbelief at their lush surroundings. Everyone looks perfect. Blake, 17 but looks older, skinny, sweet-faced, and awkward new wave guy, comes out of the cabin holding a couple buckets of red paint, but trips, spilling it on the ground. Leroy, African-American, 17 but looks 25, in 80s breakdancing chic, helps him up. Near the van, Mimi, 17 but looks older, a hippie chick, carries an empty basket. Duncan watches them, amazed, and mutters their dialogue to himself as they speak.
Nice play, Shakespeare.
Nice play, Shakespeare.
Nice play, Shakespeare.
We're gonna have to get you laid this summer, my man. Only ticket at Yorktown for you.
Hey, I'm Blake. You guys counselors too?
Yes.
No.
Blake sees Gertie and he's instantly smitten. Max immediately walks away from the scene, stands next to a wooden sign that says, "Know your Camp Bluebird counselors." On it are the pictures and names of each of the fictionals.
Hi, I'm Blake.
I'm Gertie. And these are
You're counselors. Time to party. Right.
Okay. Guys, we'll be right back. We're gonna over there.
He points to the woods. Kurt, Tina, Blake, and Leroy stare in confusion. Paula looks at the real kids with suspicion.
But we just got out of the van.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
He looks at the other fictionals for help.
Paint?
Right. Paint the old barn.
Oh, it's easy. Like this.
Duncan steps forward towards Tina tentatively.
We'll be back to paint the barn really soon. So get started and we'll join you.
Long beat. Then the fictionals all smile with relief.
Oh, bitchin'. We have to paint the barn.
And they shuffle off. Blake gives Gertie a sweet wave before joining them. Max and the gang rush off into the woods. Exterior forest clearing moments later. Max, Duncan, Gertie, Vicky, Lauren, and Chris all stare at each other. No one knows what to say.
Max, are you okay? Your mom touched my junk.
That's my mom.
No, it's not. We're in an alternate reality. Like, we're in the movie. So, I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Must have happened when Max got the screen.
That's stupid. Right? That's totally crazy.
I'm telling you, we're in the movie Camp Bloodbath. I know Camp Bloodbath inside and out.
Guys, I think Duncan's right.
No. Everyone shut up. You are on drugs. No way. No way.
Hey guys.
The gang whirls around startled, and Mimi winks at them.
Wanna help me pick strawberries?
Yeah, sure. We'll follow you.
Mimi walks off, and Duncan turns to the gang.
What are you doing?
I'll prove to you that we're in Camp Bloodbath. Come with me. Come on.
He walks off deeper into the woods after Mimi. Gertie follows, then Chris and Lauren. Max doesn't, but not wanting to be alone, hurries to catch up. Vicky, annoyed, is last to go. Moments later in the woods, the gang is several paces behind Mimi, who walks along unaware. Duncan stops the gang after a few moments and points to a hiding place. Mimi just keeps going. Duncan and the gang crouched in the hiding place, in a little cave, waiting, watching. Mimi just now noticing that they've disappeared.
Hey, where'd you guys go? Jerks.
Why exactly are we hiding from her?
Because if we're really in Camp Bloodbath, then something really's gonna happen soon.
Who the hell is this bimbo anyway?
Mimi, secondary character. She's some hippie chick. Cancer. She's the first one to die. She pats out at the right time with gore before we start losing the main characters. Max?
The first two. No. No way.
Angle on Mimi, who freezes when she hears a noise, and when she turns around is startled by a hunky male hiker who smiles at her.
Oh, hey there. I'm Mimi. You scared me.
Sorry. You know the way into town?
Sure. You just follow this path?
All the way?
Yeah. All the way.
Mimi and the hunky hiker start to tongue each other. He feels her up, unbuttoning her blouse. Back to the gang who can't believe what they're seeing and hearing.
I think we're in a porno.
She has really big nipples.
Guys, quiet.
Come on, change pages. And Max is startled by the sound of a thud above them. She looks up, and we can see the filthy tree trunk legs of Hatchet Face, who's watching Mimi and the hiker going at it. The color drains from Max's face, then the legs walk off out of sight.
Oh shit. We have to do something.
No. There's nothing you can do. It's a slasher, remember?
We can't just sit here when they're in danger.
And Max stands up, getting Mimi and the hiker's attention. They look confused, and just as Max is about to open her mouth, Hatchet Face appears behind Mimi, who screams. His machete in his belt loop glints in the night. Back on Max, who recognizes in horror that machete is the very one she used on the movie screen earlier. Back to Mimi, hiker, Hatchet Face, and Hatchet Face grips Mimi on either side, rips her in half like a phone book. Blood sprays as her two halves flop to the ground, twitching like fish, her lips babbling gibberish. The hunky hiker whips out a knife to attack Hatchet Face, but Hatchet Face easily rips his arm right off and beats him to death with it like he's a Wookiee. After a good thrashing, Hatchet Face picks up the hiker's body and flings it into the air, and it sails towards their gang where it hits a tree, then lands with a sickly splat right in front of them. A broken, bloody rag doll. The gang stare in utter shock, then scream! And Hatchet Face turns around, spotting them. His head tilts in confusion. Who the hell are these kids? The gang runs, except for Duncan, who stays put and kneels by one of the corpses and dips his hand in the blood. He stands up, looks at his hand, and we see that the blood is bright, bright red, obviously fake. Duncan smiles, amazed, and starts clapping. The gang slows and looks back at him.
Duncan?
It was awesome. Not as good as the later kills, but a good start. Nice work, dude. Guys, come back. It's all good. Max, take it easy. Unlike some guys, I'm not scared. See? It's fake blood.
The gang slowly come back, looking at his blood-stained hand. Hatchet Face, still confused, doesn't move. Duncan tastes the fake blood on his hand.
Ew!
It's sweet. It tastes like syrup. And he's harmless. He's just a piece of celluloid. This isn't real.
Dude, how do we know?
Because I've seen the movie like a million times, and he kills all the counselors, and the final chick, Paula, that nerdy chick from the van, she chops his head off with his own machete because that's the only thing that works on him.
Paula? Are you kidding me? She looks like a librarian.
No. She gets pushed to the breaking point, and then she becomes this badass warrior. She chops his head off, and then she gets to leave camp. And that's all, folks. That's how the movie's written. So that's how it works. Look, we're obviously not part of the plan, right? I mean, look at him. He doesn't know what to do if it's not scripted. Guys, screw you, 3D. This is the most immersive movie experience we're going to have, and we're just going to have to stick with Paula, and we'll be fine. Hi, I'm Duncan. I love your work.
Duncan looks at the gang, signaling them with his eyes.
Paula, how's it going?
The lovely pillowcase you're wearing.
Hatchet Face doesn't respond. He breathes heavily.
Duncan, he has the machete you gave me.
Yeah, it belongs to him. Of course he has it.
Sir, can you show us how to get back to reality?
Vicky, don't. Something's not right. Trust me.
Yeah, I took your lead earlier and look where it got us.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I should have just let you burn alive. God, I'm an idiot for thinking you could be anything but a raging bitch.
Ladies, plug it up. I have an idea. Hola, señor. Me llamo Lauren. Lauren.
Hatchet Face doesn't respond. Lauren bites her lip and steps closer. Meanwhile, off to the side, Gertie has stepped away to kneel at the side of the dead hiker, examining him.
Soy, losto. Mi amigos son muy afraid. Ay, ¿dónde está la baño?
Lauren, what the hell are you doing?
Well, this is California. I just asked where the exit is.
Bano means toilet, dipshit. You're asking where to take a dump.
I know. He's a boy. Duh.
Lauren hikes up her skirt, shows more cleavage. She jiggles closer to Hatchet Face. She's only 15 feet away now.
Oh, it's cold out here. Can you?
Extreme close-up on Hatchet Face's eye as it widens at the sight of exposed cleavage, and he steps forward, his machete raised. Lauren squeals and hurries back to the gang. Hatchet Face remains still. Back to Gertie at the dead hiker's side.
My God, it really is fake. Even their dead bodies look fake.
She's right. Mimi's body parts are already stiff, unlike what real human remains would look like. Back to Duncan and the gang.
Okay.
Guys, chill. It's pretend. And Hatchet Fake's in a loop like the rest of them. That's why the van kept coming every 90 minutes. That's how long the movie is. He's not going to do anything he's not supposed to. Watch.
Duncan walks right over to Hatchet Face, waves his hand in front of his face. No movement.
Duncan, please. He'll kill you.
If he was going to do that, we'd all be dead already. Right? Man, this is like a dream come true. Laura, can I borrow your iPhone?
Lauren tosses him the phone, and when Duncan has his back turned to our killer, trying to figure out how to get it to camera mode, Hatchet Face raises his machete.
Duncan! Duncan!
Stay
Duncan
cheese,
turns
Stay cheese!
back to Hatchet Face. He snaps the picture, and Hatchet Face makes 3 lightning-quick swipes at Duncan with his machete. The gang is sprayed with a lightning-quick jet of blood on their faces and clothes, but this blood is much darker and obviously real. Duncan freezes in shock, but doesn't fall or appear injured. He turns back to the gang and tosses Lauren her iPhone. The gang relax, start to chuckle, totally disoriented.
See? Told you. Totally.
But Duncan's expression dims, and then the top half of his head slides off. Then his shoulders and arms, then his pelvis. He's been cut into pieces and falls in a bloody pile onto the ground. Our gang blink for a split second, then in unison scream in horror. The gang direction, barreling through the woods. Everyone except Gertie, who stands there frozen with fear and fascination as Hatchet Face gets closer and closer. And Max, looking back, sees that Gertie isn't with them and runs back to get her, Chris following her as Hatchet Face lifts his machete to strike Gertie. Max and Chris grabbing Gertie's arm and yanking her away just as Hatchet Face arrives. Max, Chris, and Gertie bolt away from him, but this time Hatchet Face doesn't follow. He stands there watching them all run away. In the camp quad, moments later, the gang peel around the corner. Vicky is first, and she sees a cabin with an open door. She runs for it, and everyone follows into the cabin. Max is the last one in. She locks the door behind her. They all gather at the far end of the cabin, terrified, staring at the door, waiting for it to burst open, but it doesn't.
You're muted.
Fuck! Fuck you, microphone. We're gonna die. 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 We're gonna die.
Please, I
She
can't.
spots the phone on a desk nearby and grabs the receiver, but then, seeing it's rotary, she looks up at a loss.
How does this thing work?
Max looks out the window into the woods. Outside, Hatchet Face's POV, watching Max through the window from between the trees, waiting. Back to Max inside.
Oh my God. He's out there.
Fuck it. Let's get the hell out of here. Come on.
Thunderous, hysterical violins start to play on the soundtrack as we track with Vicky running for the door, swinging it open, and Lauren, Max, Gertie, and Chris follow suit, and they go into the camp quad outside, where they run towards the entrance of camp through the arches, the music still playing hysterically in the background. After a second, they slow down to a stop, and the music does too. They look around, puzzled. Then they start to run again, and the music picks right up again as well. As they run, Max looks up, giving a what the fuck sort of look. And then the forest road starts to turn a corner, right back to the Camp Bluebird arches. There's no way out. The gang freezes, apoplectic.
Oh, shit.
Cut to black.
I can't believe this is happening. It's like the movie doesn't want us to leave.
Back in the cabin, the gang completely traumatized, hiding in the cabin, the door of which they've barricaded with every piece of furniture they could find. They've covered the windows and are crouched together by the fireplace. Gertie is in deep shock. Max is holding herself in a chair. Chris is calm, deep in thought. Lauren is blubbering with tears, and Vicky is pissed.
Maybe Duncan's not dead. Maybe it's just a movie, right? Like, fake?
Does this look fake to you?
Close in on Gertie's blood-covered left fingers. Indeed, Duncan's blood is startlingly real. Then Gertie shows her right hand, and the fictional's blood is obviously fake. The difference is clear. This is no joke.
I tasted his blood. It flew in my mouth. It tasted like pennies.
Silence among the group as the unthinkable sinks in. Chris takes Max's hand.
Hey, just breathe. I know this is weird for you, but I'm here.
Thanks. Thanks.
Okay, guys, let's look at what we're working with here. There's a lunatic with a machete killing people, and we're obviously in danger. So
I'm staying here. I'm not moving.
I hate to say it, but I don't think we can hide here forever.
Why not?
Because Hatchet Face knows we're here now. The cat's out of the bag.
Is this a pep talk?
look, I don't want to end up dead here, okay? Do you? We actually have to come up with a real plan here.
So what? We go after that psycho? That's crazy.
Yeah, how do we get home?
Well, Duncan was right. We went through the screen when Max cut it with the machete, and maybe this is nuts, but it's like we need to get to the end of the movie to get out. Maybe, right? Like, get his machete and chop his head off with it, and then we'll get to leave? Because that's how it's supposed to happen. Why is everyone looking at me like that?
Because that's insane.
Vicky, maybe Chris is right. I mean, nobody gets to leave until that guy's dead.
Okay, suppose for a second, Chris is right. How the hell do we get the machete? By asking politely. That guy's gonna slice us to bits with it. We don't even know where he's gonna pop up next. Unless, Max, you've seen this movie 100 times, you said. What's gonna happen next?
Well, it was so long ago.
Well, somebody has to have seen this movie recently, right? Lauren?
I saw a few scenes on YouTube once.
My mom still has parental controls in our cable box.
The ending, like, I don't know, a couple years ago.
A collective pall falls over the group. Up the creek, no paddle. Vicky glances at Sam, aghast.
I can't believe we're gonna risk our lives running around trying to get a magic machete.
Wait, maybe we don't have to. Duncan said that Paula's the final girl, right? So she's the one who has to kill the Hatchet Face. Maybe all we have to do is, like, back her up and help her do her job, and then maybe the road will open up again so we can leave.
A collective light bulb seems to light up for everyone. Maybe this could work.
I'm with Max. In the meantime, I say we go tell the others what happened, and then we can all be on the lookout and helping Paula do what she needs to do, right?
Max nods. Vicky and Lauren start coming around.
So we just go tell them that they're in a movie and there's a psycho killer running around. and that we have to protect each other?
Yeah, but let's leave out the whole "you live in a movie" part. We really don't want them to spin out.
Right. Okay. I mean, they'll believe us, right? I mean, they had to have heard all the screaming, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
We hear city lovers. Girls just want to have fun as we slam cut to exterior of the barn. The fictionals, Tina, Kurt, Paula, Leroy, and Blake, are painting the barn happy as clams, dancing around as the song blasts from Leroy's boombox. Kurt does bicep curls with a free weight as he paints. Leroy busts out some moves to the music. Paula reads the complete Emily Dickinson as she paints. Tina pours a bottle of water all over herself to cool off, and Blake stares at her wet t-shirt.
Ooh, feels so good.
We whirl around to find our gang, the real kids, standing there staring at this idiocy and disbelief. After a moment, Blake notices them and smiles at Gertie, who returns the gesture weakly. Max focuses on Tina naturally.
Mom, shit. Hey, guys, everybody, we need to talk.
The fictional shrug, confused. They can't hear her over the music.
Jesus, listen up, you pinheads.
She turns the boombox off. Max clears her throat and steps forward nervously, still in shock.
I don't know how to say this, but we were in the woods just now, and our friend was. Do you remember Duncan? And your friend Mimi? Okay, so this guy in a mask came up, and
he chopped them up into chunks. We saw it happen. He's going to come for all of us and do the same thing if we don't stick together.
The fictionals blink, incredulous, then start to laugh.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
come on, what a whopper. Nothing bad ever happens at Camp Bluebird.
They go back to painting. Lauren cries anew. After a moment, Max steps forward, deciding to re-strategize.
hey, we found a lagoon in the woods. Who wants to go skinny dipping?
The fictionals stop and turn to her. Now they're listening. They smile, suddenly interested.
What the hell are you doing?
Well, it got their attention, didn't it?
As the gang turns around to start leading the fictionals into the woods, they freeze, seeing something, and the color drains from their faces. Gang's POV, there on the Know Your Camp Bluebird Counselors board, Duncan's picture has been added to the others. Exterior of the woods, moments later, the real kids are leading the fictionals in small groups along a path to where the bodies will be. Vicky and Lauren flank Paula. Gertie walks alongside Blake. Chris walks between Leroy and Kurt, and Max brings up the rear, walking with Tina. The real kids all look freaked out, convinced Hatchet Face is going to pop out at any moment.
What are you reading, Paula? Oh, Emily Dickinson. That's boring.
I'm inspired by early feminist lit. Oh, that's why you got to survive at the end. God, this movie's so fucking transparent. What? Never mind.
They walk faster. Paula, looking puzzled, hurries to catch up to them, and we hang back to settle on Gertie and Blake, who keep stealing shy looks at each other as they walk.
We're going to have a party in the lodge tonight. Want to come?
Oh, I might be busy, but don't worry, there'll be girls there. You'll do fine. You're cute.
Will they look like you? The girls?
I seriously doubt it.
Too bad.
Gertie can't help it. Fictional or not, he's a sweetheart, and she blushes, touched. They keep walking ahead, and we hang back to focus on Chris, Leroy, and Kurt.
Hey guys, who's that hot piece of snatch behind this?
Tina? Is that her name? I mean, you drove in with her.
No, dude, the fresh one.
Chris looks back and realizes that Kurt means Max.
Max? She's not available. Kurt, if you take her, I'll take Tina. If we're calling dibs, you best make like Hollywood and warn a brother. Ha!
Ha!
Kurt and Leroy high five. Leroy looks back and winks at Tina, and we drift away from them to settle on Max and Tina. Tina sees Leroy's wink and licks her lips at him. Max is horrified at her mother's slutty behavior.
Stop that. He only wants one thing.
Good. He can have it.
Listen, I know I called you mom before, but that was a joke, you know?
Oh. Okay.
And she roars in the escalator. Max listens in amazement and discreetly wipes away a tear.
God, you sound just like her.
Like who?
My
Fuck!
Max snaps to attention and runs up ahead to a forest clearing to find that none of the bodies or body parts are where they should be. The hiker, Mimi, Duncan, they're all gone. The real kids stare, shocked.
but they were all right here. Oh shit.
He took the bodies.
Maybe we're in the wrong spot.
No, this is it. Vicky's right. He did take them.
Guys, we swear there were bodies here. This giant guy named Hatchet Face came up and killed them all.
Yeah, sure. You guys are jerks.
Yeah, this isn't a lagoon.
You have to believe us. We wouldn't make this up. Look, there's blood from your friend Mimi on this tree, see?
Looks like paint from the barn to me. You guys suck at practical jokes.
This is no joke. Is everyone here fucking stupid?
What about your friend Mimi, huh? Haven't you seen her? Haven't seen her, have you?
She's probably getting laid. Speaking of which.
Tina turns to leave and the rest of the fictionals follow suit, but Blake gives Gertie a sympathetic look before joining them. Paula, however, looks concerned.
What'd you say his name was?
Hatchet Face.
That's not funny.
And she joins the rest of the fictionals as they walk away towards camp. We close in on Max as she takes note of Paula's reaction. Then she sees Leroy approaching Tina.
Hey, Tina, you want to meet me in the barn?
You bet I do.
Max's color drains away. Oh no, she rushes over to Tina.
No, you can't have sex in this at camp. Because I hear sex is painful.
Well,
Especially
not
with a
if you-
black guy.
Well, not if you do it right.
Mom, Tina, look, I have a feeling that if you go have sex with Leroy, you could get hurt. Really hurt.
Listen, I'm not going to get hurt. I'm not in love with Leroy or anything. It's just sex. Know what I mean?
Tina winks, starts to walk away again, but Max grabs her arm hard.
Ow!
Holy shit, it is you. Know what I mean? You always used to say that.
You're hurting me. Let me go.
It's just that you should always make boys wait for everything. They'll respect you more.
Tina stares into Max's eyes, confused, and Max, unable to stop herself, hugs Tina hard. Tina's cheeriness fades into confusion, as though Max's words now resonate. Tina pulls herself away. She regards Max and the gang with bewilderment.
I'll see you guys later.
With one last look at Max, Tina hurries away toward camp.
Wait. Guys, we have to do something. I have to go to the barn with her to stop her.
Max, no. If that's where Hatchet Face is supposed to kill your mom and Leroy, then he's going to be there.
Well, I have to try.
That is not your mother, okay? Not real. Remember, real blood versus fake blood? Now, can we please focus on saving our own lives now?
Suddenly, a cracked branch sounds from deeper in the woods. The gang look around on alert. Hatchet faces POV, watching them from several yards away, not moving. They can't see him. Back to the gang, who is spooked. Max shakes her head.
Guys, let's get out of here.
Max and the rest of the gang run, and we track with them as they race through the woods back to camp. And Max runs smack into Kurt and Blake, who are chopping firewood. The rest of the gang are close behind.
Oh, hi! What's the hurry? I got wood here, you know, for you.
The arriving gang's eyes widen. Huh?
For the party tonight. Fireplace? Keep you warm, you dig?
Awesome. Yes. Dig. Party. Mm-hmm.
There's going to be dancing, you know? We're all dying to cut loose.
Mortified silence from the real kids. Then Max starts to laugh. The other real kids join in. Kurt and Blake do too. It goes on for a few beats too long. Then Max quickly walks away uncomfortable. The rest of the gang follow suit. Hatchet faces POV from several yards away, watching Kurt and Blake. His machete is seen drifting across the frame. It won't be long now. Outside the quad, moments later, the gang come out of the woods and Max breathlessly addresses them.
I'm going to the barn to stop my mom.
Max runs off, Chris fearing for her.
Wait, I'm coming with you. Everybody go hide in the girls' cabin. Play it cool until we're back. I'm going to go after Max.
No, Chris, come with us. I need you right now.
Chris, torn for a moment, glances at the barn, then back to Vicky.
Vicky, no, I can't leave Max alone.
And Chris darts off after Max. Vicky, truly scared, hurries off with Lauren and Gertie. In the barn, moments later, it's cavernous, hay everywhere. We pan the space as scary music plays. We see 3 10-gallon cans of gasoline. Then in a corner, a giant thresher thing parked by the barn doors under the hayloft. Its gleaming spikes point heavenward, waiting for someone to follow them. Rustling at the door, and Leroy walks in, holding a joint and a bottle of Jack Daniels, and goes to sit on a bale and drinks. After a moment, Tina enters and goes up to him. Moments after, Max and Chris's heads poke up in an open window. They're scared out of their minds. Max waves discreetly to get Tina's attention, but to no avail. Outside the barn, Max to Chris.
If I can just get her attention. Keep an eye out for, you know.
Chris nods, his eyes trained on the trees around them. Inside the barn, Leroy leans in and kisses Tina on the lips.
What's the matter, baby? You're shaking.
Are we doing anything wrong? Like bad? That new girl said.
No way. Let me get that grass ready. Get you nice and relaxed.
Leroy readies the joint, and Tina starts to strip. Creepy music starts to play, and Max in the window notices and starts to panic silently. Max sees a door shut and hears rustling among the hay bales. Max waves like crazy to Tina, snapping her fingers. Tina finally notices her, shocked at the sight of her. Max pantomimes, "No sex, you will die," and run away. Tina, of course, has no idea what she's saying. Leroy comes back and sees that Tina's not naked yet. The creepy music intensifies, and Max looks around, convinced Hatchet Face is going to come out any second.
Why aren't you naked yet? I'm not taking you to dinner.
Maybe we should wait, you know?
Max, elated, nods wildly, thrilled.
I didn't invite you here to wait. Shut up and take your clothes off.
You're a pig. You better leave camp because I'm going to tell all the girls what a skis you are.
And she runs out of the barn. Outside, Tina darts outside, running towards camp. Max stands up, alarmed.
She's getting away. Come on.
Max and Chris run off to get Tina. Back in the barn, Leroy kicks a hay bale, angry. He looks at the joint in his hand, and then he reaches into his pocket and lifts out a Zippo lighter. He lights the joint, puffs, and a shadow looms behind him. He turns, but it's just the shade brought on by a window catching the sunlight. Leroy turns back to face forward, and Hatchet Face suddenly rises up before him like a wave, raising the machete. Leroy drops the Zippo onto the ground, and Hatchet Face slashes at Leroy as we slam cut to interior of the girls' cabin, simultaneous. Vicky's pacing, worried, looking out the window for Chris. Gertie, off to the side, is sitting nervously under a huge mounted deer head on the wall. There's a big poster of George Michael over Paula's bed, where Lauren sits, munching on her Bijou Theater Reese's Pieces, and leafs through an old People magazine from 1984 while stroking a plush E.T. doll. Staring at all of them is Paula, who's looking alarmed.
Who's Eric Estrada? It says he was in a show called Chips. Why would anyone watch a whole show about chips? I still can't get a signal. Coverage totally sucks.
Lauren tosses the iPhone away onto the ground and it skids along the floor.
Cell phones haven't been invented yet. Duh.
Where the hell is Max? If we don't start hunting down Hatchet Face soon, we're gonna be dog meat. What do you guys know about Hatchet Face?
The girls stare at Paula. Does she believe them?
Yes, him. You weren't joking before. You believe us, right?
We start closing in on Paula as she recounts her tale and eerie music sounds.
I knew him when I was a little girl. I used to come to this camp. His name was Joey, but everyone called him Hatchet Face because he was ugly. And he was mute. And he had a twisted left hand. And he wet the bed. Okay, moving on.
Vicky, shut up. Go on, Paula.
During Paula's ensuing story, the image occasionally dissolves to blurry scenes of the night she describes.
The boys always picked on him. And he hated us because no one would talk to him. And one night, I saw some boys chasing Hatchet Face through the camp. And they hurt him. They burned his face. I tried to get them to stop, but they wouldn't listen. Oh, God.
Back to the present, Paula cries and the girls look at each other, then at Paula.
Paula, Hatchet Face is back. He already killed Mimi. Not Mimi! And he's gonna kill us all if you don't stop him. What? I can't do that. I'm just a girl. Stop trying to scare me.
We're just trying to warn you. Look, it's no biggie. He's gonna kill all your friends and then you're gonna have to chop his head off.
Shut up! I don't like jokes.
But don't worry, we're here to help. We're gonna be your backup.
Exactly, so you don't get decapitated.
No. This is not a joke, Paula. He's huge and pissed off, and he likes to slice people up and then steal their bodies, probably to fuck them in some shanty in the forest. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God, I don't want it to stop. Guys, we're freaking her out.
We're just telling you the truth. Shut up. Because you're the one person who can stop him. Shut up.
And Paula turns to run out of the cabin, but Vicky and Lauren block her exit.
Let me out of here.
Paula, you can't go. You have to listen.
So Paula turns and tries to get out another way, but Gertie's already there, smiling indulgently.
Paula, just calm down.
Don't tell me what to do.
And she turns to run again, but within 3 steps, her foot lands on Lauren's discarded iPhone. Slow motion, which slips out from under her, sending Paula falling over. Vicky, Lauren, and Gertie watching in mute horror as Paula's body falls, where she lands on her butt against the nearby wall under the mounted deer head, whacking her head on the wall.
Ow.
Vicky, Lauren, and Gertie quickly sigh with relief.
Please believe us, Paula. We need your help. Bad. Okay. I'll help. I'll do whatever you want.
The real kids smile at each other, thrilled. Then the deer head above Paula creaks slightly. Paula looks up and the deer head falls, its antler points planting directly into Paula's eyes. She twitches as blood runs out of her mouth and ears, then she falls over in a heap, the deer head still firmly planted in her skull. Vicky, Lauren, and Gertie stand there, mouths agape, mortified. No one speaks for several moments.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Does anyone know CPR?
CPR? You really think that CPR is gonna help now?
Paula's body stops twitching. She's officially dead. Suddenly, the entire frame of the movie starts to tremble for several moments. The girls cling to each other until it starts to subside. It's like the movie has been blindsided by this unexpected development.
It's only a movie. Only a movie. Only a movie.
No, it's not. Not anymore.
Exterior lake dock moments later. The frame trembling is subsiding here too. On shore, Max and Chris arrive and look up alarmed.
What the hell was that?
The trembling is over. Max shrugs at a loss. They see Tina sitting alone on the dock. Max squeezes Chris's hand.
Let me talk to her. Go check on the others. I'll be there soon.
Chris nods, then runs off. Max walks over to Tina, sits next to her. The sun is slowly starting to set, and the colors are breathtaking.
You're right. Something bad happened. Leroy was so mean. Boys.
Max takes her hand and holds it.
Not all boys are bad, but I'm really glad you listened.
Me too. Whoever told you to make boys wait was right.
My mom did.
Well, she sounds pretty smart. Everything about this day feels different. You're here and your friends, and I feel different, but good. Is that weird?
No, I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about boys right now. I feel like I'm always boy crazy, but now such a relief. Gosh.
Max studies Tina. Tina's acting more grounded, less like she was before. Moving past her moment of death has shaken her out of her routine and predetermined character traits.
Look, stick with me. It's dangerous out there, and just trust me. Do what I say, okay?
Tina smiles, nods, then
What's that?
Just a locket. You know, a picture.
Of who?
You don't know her. Just somebody I really miss. And you remind me of her a lot.
I do? Well, just pretend I'm her.
Okay. I wish it could be like this forever.
Then close your eyes and make a wish, and maybe it'll happen. I mean, maybe my life changed today. Why not yours, right?
Tina shuts her eyes tight and sighs. Max watches her, bewildered, moved. Outside the girls' cabin, Max and Tina are walking up when Chris comes outside.
Okay. Before you go inside, you should know that something unplanned happened.
What do you mean? What exactly happened while I was gone?
Just go look. I'll hang out here with Tina.
Max's brow furrows as she goes toward the cabin door, opening it.
Oh, wait for me. I want to change out of this tube top.
Tina darts over to Max.
No, wait!
Inside the cabin, but Tina and Max have just walked into the cabin to find Lauren and Vicky standing there, Paula's bloody, vacant-eyed body in their arms, trying to move her over to a closet. Max and Tina stare at the sight, their eyes widening, and then Tina shrieks bloody murder. Lauren and Vicky, seeing this, also shriek in fear, dropping Paula's body with a thud onto the ground. Time cut. A little later, Lauren is seated on a bed in a far corner, holding the hand of a blanket-wrapped Tina, who's staring at the floor in shock, hugging the E.T. doll. Paula's body is in another corner, covered by a Roadrunner blanket, the deer head still poking out from under it. At the other end of the cabin, Max, Chris, Vicky, and Gertie are whispering tensely.
What do you mean she fell?
She fell. Okay, we were in the middle of telling her we were gonna help her kill Hatchet Face, and she wigged out.
This is not good. This is really not good.
What are we supposed to do? Who's gonna kill him now? Paula was supposed to like go through this change at the end and turn into a badass.
I'm sick of this shit. This is all partially my fault. I'll do it. Or I'll try.
That's big of you, but I don't think you can be the final girl.
Oh, shit. Right. The final girl is always like Paula. Virginal, a little apart from the group, smart.
Are you saying I'm none of those things? Fine. But that counts Lauren out too. She gave it up in kindergarten. What about your mom?
The foursome crane their heads to look at Tina, who's refusing Reese's Pieces that Lauren is attempting to feed her. The foursome look at each other.
I don't think Tina's it. No offense, Max.
None taken. She doesn't exactly fit the mold.
I think it's gonna have to be one of you guys.
Max and Gertie look at each other, blanching.
What? Well, maybe. Gertie and I will do it together. Maybe?
I'm not a virgin.
Don't lie, Gertie.
I'm not lying. Last year, I had sex.
Okay. With who?
Mr. Peterson, the band teacher.
Ew! God, Gertie!
He was helping me with my saxophone part in this Sousa march. I stayed late. I liked his cologne. He never even kissed me. I never told anybody.
Max's face falls completely. Fuck. All eyes are on Max now. Gertie feels guilty. Chris is immediately worried for Max. Vicky's just distraught.
So Max is gonna do it? Oh, we're fucked.
Vicky, shut up.
No, I'm Pep Squad. Field hockey. I'm built for this shit. If I had backup, I could kill Hatchet Face. Maybe.
Who are you guys?
Max and the others look at Tina, who's now standing a few feet away from them, listening.
Camp counselors.
Who are you, really? And who's Hatchet Face?
In the camp mess hall a little later, a large, cheerful space whose walls are decorated with crafts, kids' drawings. Tina sits on one of the picnic-style tables, Max next to her, as Vicky, Gertie, and Lauren help Chris drag over a rolling blackboard from a corner. On it are counselor tasks like paint the barn, clean the cabins, repair the canoes, etc. He erases them all and starts to draw a blueprint of the camp's buildings.
Listen, guys. If Max is going to deal Hatchet Face the death blow, we need to figure out the best way to concentrate all our bodies into one area where he'll be outnumbered and therefore overpowered.
Chris circles the lodge building.
Since there's a party tonight in the lodge, that's our best shot at getting him in our sights.
We zoom into the blackboard as we dissolve to enter the lodge party. The entire following sequence is in slow motion. Kurt is on the couch, flanked by Tina and Lauren, who are caressing him sexily, taking drinks from beer bottles as Kurt puffs on a joint, happy as a clam.
But how do we get Hatchet Face to come to us when we want him?
Easy. If everyone in that lodge is horny, smoking pot, and making out,
Then Hatchet Face will be in the vicinity.
How do we know exactly when he'll show up?
The image flies upwards to a second-story bedroom, where Gertie and Blake are dancing sweetly to pop music playing on a radio. Gertie has her eyes firmly trained on the windows overlooking the rear of the lodge.
That's where you come in, Gertie. You're the lookout. When you see Hatchet Face materialize...
And Gertie looks at the opposite windows overlooking the quad and sees Hatchet Face standing there staring at the lodge.
You run downstairs to alert everyone.
Gertie bolts out of the room and we cut back to lower lodge level to find Gertie arriving on the landing, knocking 3 times on the banister, and Tina and Lauren, seeing the alert, drag Kurt off the couch.
And Tina and Lauren will tell Kurt they want to lick whipped cream off his body or something.
I can't eat dairy.
focus, Lauren.
We follow the trio as they move into the kitchen, where they lead Kurt towards the sink, getting sexy with him.
You guys lead Kurt into the kitchen where Vicky and I are hiding.
And then we turn around to find that Vicky and Chris are hiding with large hammers in their hands. Vicky is crouched low by the kitchen door, and Chris is perched on top of the refrigerator.
Getting ready to whack Hatchet Face when he shows up.
Suddenly, Hatchet Face appears in the doorway, machete brandished. Kurt, Tina, and Lauren scream, but as soon as Hatchet Face sets foot in the kitchen,
when he does, Vicky and I whack him in 2 places and then pin him to the ground.
Chris slams the skillet directly into his face while Vicky slams her skillet into the backs of his knees. Hatchet Face falls onto his back, totally stunned. Chris jumps down from the top of the fridge, then pushes the fridge on top of Hatchet Face, pinning him.
And that's where I come in, right?
We pan to see Max come out of the kitchen pantry where she was hiding. She walks towards the vulnerable Hatchet Face deliberately, determined, and kneels to pick up the machete that he's dropped.
Yes, Max has been hiding this whole time. She's the final girl, so we have to keep her safe. Once he's pinned, Max comes out, takes his machete.
Max raises the machete triumphantly.
And kills him for good.
Max thrusts it down, and a torrent of blood flies out of Hatchet Face, covering the screen. And as it trickles away, we're back to the camp mess hall present, as Chris turns back to face the others, all of them nervous but girding themselves. Maybe this plan could work.
Just remember that it's all about that machete. That's what Duncan said will kill him. So that's what we need to get. Max, you cool with all this?
All eyes on Max. She nods quickly, trying to stay calm. She looks at Tina.
How about you? You got it?
Tina nods absently. Max observes Tina, worried. Tina wears a glazed look, overwhelmed by everything she has to process.
So, this is all a movie, right?
The real kids all nod.
And this isn't real?
No, it's not.
It's real to me. Poor Paula. She was so nice. She was saving herself for George Michael.
Just as well then.
Vicky gives Lauren a shut up look. Max looks at her friend, then squeezes Tina's hand. Suddenly, tears flow down Tina's face as she comprehends her fate. Tina looks at the floor.
I can't believe I've been living here forever.
Yeah.
I never got to move to LA.
Paula's dead. I think that's supposed to be Tina.
Yeah, I never get to move to LA because I was talking about that earlier. Paula, go die. Bag your face. So I never get to leave.
Max, overwhelmed by Tina's heartbreak, is speechless. The real kids, equally moved, look at each other, and then Lauren pipes up.
Well, maybe not, because after we kill Hatchet Face and we leave the movie, you could come back with us to the real world.
Really?
You could go back home with Max, right, guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you live?
LA? Well, Encino. It's LA, adjacent.
Max, Chris, and Vicky look concerned. Is this a promise they can keep?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I want to.
Max can't bring herself to Tina that this is probably not going to be possible. Chris clears his throat. Max, hearing this, gets back down to business.
We should probably get, like, knives and stuff, just to be prepared.
Well, there's lots of stuff in the barn. Just look in the far cabinet. I'm gonna go see the others so they don't start wondering where I am.
Max stands too, and Tina looks at all the real kids.
You guys are the best. Thank you. Put on a sweater. It always gets cold at night.
Okay.
There's food in those fridges back there. Eat something before the party, all of you. You can't do all this on an empty stomach.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Promise.
Tina.
I'm gonna write down our plan in my trapper keeper.
And she hurries out. Max turns back to the others, flabbergasted. Exterior lake dock later. The sun has almost completely set. Max and Chris sitting together looking at the waves, eating sandwiches, calm before the storm.
Chris, what if I can't do it?
Look, before a game, coach always tells us to act like we've already won. He says, be the winner. Be the winner.
Does that work? I lied before, I've never seen this movie. I was always afraid to, It's kind of hard to watch somebody you love get chopped up when you feel like you're the reason they died in real life.
Chris scoots closer to Max. She puts her head on his shoulder.
Max, remember when I asked you out freshman year? Why do you ignore me?
It wasn't personal. Vicky was like totally in love with you, and she told me if I went out with you, I'd be like a traitor to her.
Oh,
Why are you bringing this up? I mean, we could die tonight, for real.
yeah, I know.
And suddenly Max understands the depths of Chris's feelings for her. She's about to speak when
Wow, Chris, you moved on pretty quick.
Max and Chris scoot away from each other and turn to see Vicky, Gertie, and Lauren arriving. They sit next to them. The moment's ruined.
You could at least wait until I get my head cut off at the party. Rude.
Why wait until then?
God, Vicky. Enough about Chris. We get it. Yeah, you're it's cold and lonely place. Just get a cat and shut up already.
Wow. Excuse me for Jesus.
Vicky clams up and sulks quietly. We pan below the dock and reveal that underneath, Hatchet Face is surfacing from the water silently and listening.
Max? Are you mad at me for telling your mom she could come home with us?
Not mad, exactly. I mean, Tina doesn't even know she's my mom. She's just like this goldfish. Guys, do you think if we get through this, I could bring my mom back home? I mean, supposing that...
Back to Hatchet Face, who looks up towards Max's voice and tilts his head, intrigued.
Max, we have a plan to carry out. Please don't go mental on us. I don't think I could take it.
I know, but she even sounds like my mom. She even says the same random crap she used to say when she was alive, like, you know what I mean? That laugh and her high voice, and it used to drive me crazy, but now, God.
Back to Hatchet Face, who goes back underwater out of sight, biding his time.
Max, I know you're probably scared, but just think of this like, the Wizard of Oz. Except the witch doesn't want your shoes.
A weak chuckle from the gang.
She wants your head on a stick.
Ladies, listen up. We have a plan. We'll get through this. It's time to get our weapons, lock and load. Plus, let's try to have fun out there. I mean, it is a party.
Maybe our last.
They look at each other gravely. Chris puts his hand in the center, and one by one they all do. They're a solid team. Suddenly, a clap of thunder overhead startles them. They look up. A light rain starts to drop. And we hear Bon Jovi's You Give Love a Bad Name as we start a montage of the real kids in the barn, finding a plethora of sharp or blunt tools. Knives, hammers, awls, and their hands grab everything they can get. The real kids in the girls' cabin, each of them practicing using their weapons and taping them to their legs or arms for quick and easy access. Lauren pouring Chris into really tight jeans, an Izod shirt, loafers, and blow-drying his hair. Of the real girls variously being dressed in 1980s fabulous ensembles of evening wear Jordache, Esprit, and Benetton. of Max, the last one to get made over, applying blush, stockings, bangles, and earrings, and we reveal her to look like a teen goddess straight out of a John Hughes movie. Outside are our newly 80s out real kids walking in slow motion like badasses towards the lodge, where Tina is on the porch locking eyes with Max. When Max reaches her, they clasp hands and walk inside. End of the montage. In the party, another huge clap of thunder sounds as rain comes down outside, and we hear Cheap Trick's I Want You to Want Me playing. Laughter and high spirits. Blake sets out bowls of snacks for everyone. Gertie smiles at him, then looks at the others, pulling Blake upstairs. Once they're out of our sight, we pan to Max and Chris, who scan the room one last time and duck into the kitchen. We pan to Vicky, who's gently pushing Lauren to go over to where Tina and Kurt are sitting on the couch. Lauren is holding the plush E.T. doll.
Lauren, why do you have that doll?
It's keeping me calm.
You're supposed to be turning Kurt on. You look like you've been molested. Just go.
Lauren shuffles over to the couch and Vicky goes into the kitchen where Chris, hammer in hand, is already climbing on top of the fridge. Vicky retrieves her own hammer from her purse and crouches by the door where she's supposed to be. We pan over to the pantry and dissolve inside to find Max there, alone, pacing. She practices reaching for the knife tucked in her sleeve a couple of times. After a moment, she stops, closing her eyes.
Please, God, make me brave.
When she opens her eyes again, she starts because Vicky slipped in a moment ago.
Jesus, Vicky, God.
Okay, listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. I just want to say that if we live through this, you can have it. Chris, I know I've been a royal coos on and off, mostly on, but my life is flashing before my eyes, and I don't want to die without having told you that. But the worst part isn't even that I always knew Chris liked you better. It was that after your mom died, you just shut down and cut me out of your life completely. And her dying wasn't even your fault.
Don't go there, Vicky.
Well, friends tell each other the truth. So if you don't like it, then you can go on thinking I'm evil, okay? So get over it, because our lives depend on it. Max, I missed you. I missed you so much that I started hating you. No. Don't interrupt me. Just, I may be an alpha bitch, but I always looked up to you. In junior high, you pushed me to do pep squad with you. You pushed me to go out for the spring musical with you. You were always the brave one until you can do this. Me, I'm just the loudmouth. So, yeah. You're muted,
Alex. Sorry. She walks out, Max alone, digesting her words. In the upstairs bedroom, Gertie and Blake are together, the radio playing a pop song. Gertie is perched by the window, keeping her eye out for Hatchet Face, but there's no sign of him.
Gertie?
What?
Have you ever kissed anyone?
Gertie looks at him. He's vulnerable, adorable in this moment.
What?
I've never kissed someone. I didn't want to kiss just anybody. But you seem special. Ever since I saw you this morning, would you be my first kiss?
I'm supposed to leave soon, so.
What? Don't go. Please?
Gertie, touched and shocked all at once, doesn't move. And over her shoulder, through the window overlooking the quad, Hatchet Face appears, crossing our line of vision for a split second. Then he's gone again. Downstairs, back in the main room, Lauren and Tina flank Kurt on the couch nervously, but playing their parts.
Lauren says,
Sorry. Wow, Kurt, your tan is like so farmery. Right, Tina?
Yeah, I'm so horny now.
Tina, I thought I told you to take off that damn sweater. Get over there and show me what you got.
Tina looks at Lauren apprehensively, and Lauren nods to her weakly. Tina stands up and goes by a window and slowly removes her sweater, revealing a light tank top underneath.
Nice.
Lauren looks around the room. The windows, nothing there. She returns to sexy mode.
So tell me, what you like about me?
Your hair, it's like a helmet. And helmets remind me of motorcycles, which remind me of danger. And danger is sexy.
Kurt nods, turned on. He leans in and starts to kiss Lauren, who makes noises even though she's totally grossed out. Her eyes look past Kurt, and we follow her gaze over towards the kitchen door where Vicky is peeking out, looking. She retreats, the door shutting. In the kitchen, Vicky looks up at Chris.
There's no sign of him yet.
Fuck. This had better work.
In the pantry, Max paces, fidgets, waiting. We dissolve several times as the minutes pass. What the hell is taking so long? After several moments, she peeks out of the pantry and addresses Vicky.
What's happening?
I don't know. I should go check on Gertie.
But when Vicky shifts, her ankle gets cut on a rusty nail sticking out of the wall near her hiding place.
Ow!
I'll go.
No, stay put, both of you.
Max, wait.
But Max has already stepped quietly into the main lodge room and is tiptoeing behind the couch, out of Kurt's sight. But Lauren and Tina see Max. Max gives them a shush sign and they return to their assignment, eyes on Kurt.
I wanna ride your penny loafers. Penny.
Sorry. Ooh, penny loafers.
Max darts up the stairs quietly. Upstairs, Max looks down the long hall and we follow her feet as she quietly, breathlessly makes her way to the far door, opening it to find Gertie and Blake about to make out.
Gertie!
Gertie stops, caught red-handed. Blake just looks confused. Max rushes to the windows to look out. There's still nothing there.
You have one job, to be the lookout, Gertie.
I've been looking, I swear. There's no sign of him. I don't know where he is.
Look out for what?
Nothing. It's okay. Go back downstairs. You're supposed to be hiding.
Just do your job. You want to get home, don't you?
What if I don't?
What?
Max, Duncan's picture on the board, it's a sign. I think it means that if you die here, you get to stay here forever.
Get to stay here? Are you fucking nuts? Stop it. You don't know that.
Well, maybe. And what would I be going back to anyway? My after-school Weight Watchers program? To bitches like Vicky and Lauren making my life miserable? To Gertie as a pig groups on Facebook? To being a fucking outcast? Is that it, Max? Is that what I should be rushing back to being totally fucking alone?
Gertie's crying now. The depth of her pain is severe.
You can't trade your life for this. You can't be serious.
He likes me, Max. He's crazy about me. And look at me. Do you really think that's going to happen back home? Nobody's ever going to love me there.
Max steps back slowly, aghast at Gertie's shift.
Don't do anything stupid. Keep your eyes on the window. Okay, we need you. And Gertie, I love you.
Gertie is sobered for a moment by Max's assertion and goes to the window. Max walks out, shutting the door behind her, and stands there for a moment, disturbed. After a moment, she walks slowly, quietly back towards us. Once she's reached the stairway landing, Hatchet Face appears at the rear end of the hall, walking silently, casually across from one room to another. He's gone as quickly as he appeared. Back in the main lodge room, Max descends the stairs as Lauren and Tina, who are now massaging a shirtless Kurt, look up at Max expectantly. Max shakes her head. We follow her feet going down, down, down. On the last step, we hear a creak, and Kurt, on the couch, whirls around and smiles lasciviously, drunkenly at Max.
Hi. I've been wondering where you are.
Off Max, caught. We cut to upstairs bedroom, Gertie at her post, Blake holding her hand. Suddenly, a whapping sound coming from outside the room. Gertie sits up, startled.
Wait here.
In the hallway, Gertie steps out and looks into the hall. Nothing there. The whapping sound happens again, and Gertie looks toward its source. It's coming from the room that we saw Hatchet Face walk into moments ago. Gertie pushes that room's door open, peers inside. She walks into the bedroom, which is messy. Bed, clothes, desk, etc. It's dark.
Hello?
Main lodge room downstairs. Kurt stands, drags Max by the hand over to where Lauren and Tina are. Max looks at the kitchen door where Vicky is watching this, nervous.
Damn, you look good. You and Tina could be like sisters or something.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Show me your rag. Loosen up. The Russians could invade any moment. Hi, Tina. Kiss her.
Lauren blanches. Max and Tina's eyes widen. They look at each other. Then back to Kurt.
Oh, no, you don't want to see that.
Uh-uh.
No.
Back in the upstairs bedroom, Gertie sees the source of the whapping noise. It's an open window. The shutters outside it whacking the house in the rainy wind. Gertie rushes over to it, looks through it, and pokes her head outside to look down, putting her hands on the sill. And then notices the mud on the sill. The rose trellis leading down to the ground, tracks in the mud below. She looks at her hands, covered in mud. She trembles. Hatchet Face must be near. Back in the main lodge room downstairs, Kurt is drunk, waiting for Tina and Max to kiss. He walks over to the front door, stands with his back to it, then...
I gotta go.
You're not going anywhere.
And he blocks her access to the kitchen. Back in the bedroom, as Gertie starts backing up from the window in fear. In the kitchen, Vicky watches through a crack in the door as Kurt moves toward Max, Vicky's grip on her hammer white-knuckling. As Kurt throws Max on the couch, tries to undo her top. Max screams as Lauren and Tina rush over to pull Kurt off of her. Angle on Max, who amidst the chaos sees Gertie run down the stairwell as she knocks 3 times on the banister, then goes wide-eyed at the mess downstairs. Angle on the kitchen door as Vicky and Chris run into the room to help Lauren and Tina pull Kurt off of Max. Chris slugs Kurt hard, sending him to the ground, and then suddenly the front door behind Kurt blows open, scaring the hell out of everyone. But it's not Hatchet Face, it's Jackie and Jenny, 24, 2 twin townie tramps who stand there, dressed really trashily. They're not the best actresses. They stand there in the open doorway. Everyone freezes.
What the fuck is this?
Hey, I'm Jackie. And I'm Jenny. And we're here to party.
Everyone but Kurt is slack-jawed. Vicky drops her hammer.
Who the hell are these two?
They are twinsies from across the lake that I invited to the party. How's it going, ladies?
Did nobody know about these two?
We're hungry. Yeah, got anything to eat?
A creak coming from the front porch. Everyone cranes their head to look for a moment, and then Hatchet Face's fists explode out of Jackie and Jenny's chests, and in his fists are both their hearts. The twins shriek at the sight of their exposed, still beating hearts. Everyone screams along with them, and then the fists fly upwards to cram the hearts right into the twins' open mouths. Hatchet Face looms into view, tossing the twins' lifeless bodies aside, and he lifts his machete out of his belt loop as everyone but Kurt backs against the far wall, panicked. Hatchet Face strolls up to Kurt and swings his machete from below, bringing it right up into Kurt's crotch. Blood sprays onto the ceiling as Kurt's body drops, and Hatchet Face then turns toward Tina and steps closer to her, ready to strike.
No!
Angle on Max, who picks up Vicky's dropped hammer and rushes over to block Hatchet Face from Tina. Max swings the hammer with all her might right into Hatchet Face's temple. He staggers back surprised, dropping his machete, and Max grabs it, holds it up to him. She's got the machete.
Stay away from her.
Hatchet Face's POV as he looks at Max, then at Tina, then back at Max. Angle on Hatchet Face, who tilts his head curiously as if to say, interesting. Max raises the machete, but she's clearly terrified and not ready to fight. Hatchet Face takes a step towards her, raising his fist, and Max freezes in fear.
Max, run!
And Max darts out of the way just in time as Hatchet Face slams his knuckles into the wall, causing a terrified Gertie to run upstairs into the hallway where Blake is coming out of the bedroom.
What's up with all the screaming?
Nothing. They're partying. Go back. Go back. Go back.
And she pushes him back inside and slams the door shut behind them. Back in the main lodge room, as Hatchet Face strains to get his fist out of the wall, Max and the others, Tina, Chris, Vicky, and Lauren, run like hell into the kitchen, where Chris immediately starts pushing the refrigerator over to block the doorway.
Help me!
And the others join him and push. The main lodge room, Hatchet Face, hand now free, makes his way toward the kitchen door, and spotting a huge butcher knife on a tray of sandwiches, grabs it. In the kitchen, just as the gang manages to knock the fridge over to block the door. On the other side, Hatchet Face tries to open it, but can't because it's blocked.
The window! Go! Go!
And everyone runs to the small window over the sink, smashing it, scrambling up to get out as the butcher knife blade starts to slam into the door behind them. He's starting to get through. In the main lodge room, in mid-slash, he freezes when he hears shifting around upstairs. He looks up. In the bedroom, Gertie takes Blake's hands and looks into his eyes. His back is to the door.
Do you want me to stay?
Gertie, what are you?
Just tell me, do you want me to stay here with you?
Behind Blake, the door silently opens as Hatchet Face looms there in the hall, looking right at them. In the kitchen, Vicky and Lauren have just squeezed through the window, and Tina's next, but Max realizes something.
Gertie! Where's Gertie?
Max, go! Get outside!
In the upstairs bedroom, Hatchet Face is walking slowly, silently towards Blake and Gertie, but only Gertie knows he's coming.
Yeah. Stay with me.
Gertie smiles, tears streaming down her face, and she kisses Blake, then pulls away.
I'll see you soon.
What?
And Hatchet Face, now behind Blake, picks him up by his hair, lifting him into the air, his Converse dangling above the floor. Gertie falls back on the ground in the flash of Hatchet Face's butcher knife as it swings out in an arc, slashing Blake's throat as he dangles over Gertie, sends his blood flying out in a jet, splashing Gertie across the face. She stands quickly, shell-shocked. Hatchet Face holds Blake as he twitches, his limbs convulsing as he dies, and Gertie takes in the spectacle wide-eyed, overwhelmed. Hatchet Face flings Blake's body out the window, where it smashes through the glass, launches into the air before landing on the muddy ground below. Back in the kitchen, Max is about to go out the window when she hears the glass smashing upstairs. She moves to go upstairs.
Gertie! We have to!
There's no time. Go!
In the upstairs bedroom, Gertie backs away slowly towards the opposite wall, then stops and speaks to Hatchet Face.
I'm ready.
Hatchet Face takes a swipe at her with his butcher knife, and instinctively Gertie feints to the side, getting cut on the arm. She stares at the wound, the blood seeping out, wincing in pain, and she looks up again, and we see that she's suddenly having second thoughts.
Ow. Ow! Oh no. No.
Suddenly, Hatchet Face swings the knife with brutal force in an arc, and it just misses her abdomen.
No, please,
She leans against the wall, trapped like a rat, and her feet graze a pair of water skis lying on the floor. She quickly picks one up. Hatchet Face swings again, but she dodges it and smacks him in the neck with the ski. He's stunned for a moment, moving to the side, and Gertie seizes the moment to dart past him, sprinting out the door. Slow motion begins in the kitchen, Max screaming as Chris pushes her through the window to the outside. Upstairs hallway, Gertie running to the stairwell. Outside the lodge as Max, then Chris tumble out, joining Lauren, Tina, and Vicky as they run towards the front of the lodge. In the main lodge room, Gertie reaches the lower level, but Hatchet Face has already blocked the front door with the couch, so Gertie moves to a window. The light from the lodge is all that's shining light on Max, Vicky, Lauren, and Tina, and Chris as they dart across the quad. But when Max stops and stands in the light to look at Gertie, they all do as well. Max's POV, Gertie stands at the window as Hatchet Face approaches her from behind. Gertie puts her hand on the glass, and just as Hatchet Face has reached Gertie, knife raised, he stops, and we close in on Hatchet Face when he sees Max and the others outside. He moves off from Gertie, heading to the front door, readying to go after them. And Gertie, realizing that her mistake could cost her friends their lives, acts fast.
Hey! Over here!
She picks up a few beer bottles and whips them at Hatchet Face, and one of them breaks on his head. He whirls back to Gertie, furious.
Yeah, come and get me, you ugly piece of shit.
And he returns to Gertie, butcher's knife at the ready. Angle on Max outside. We focus on her and the gang as the white glow from the window suddenly turns deep crimson from Gertie's blood, bathing them in red light. Max screams and the gang runs, Chris dragging Max away into the rainy blackness. From Max's POV, we only hear the sound of Max's breathing as she runs, pulled by Chris, who holds her hand as they barrel through the dark behind Vicky, Lauren, and Tina. And slowly but surely, the sounds of reality, the present, come back to the fore as the group runs for the chapel, which can be seen in the distance. Lightning in the sky sets the world aglow for a few instances, and Max, still holding the prized machete, looks back and sees Hatchet Face already on their tail, walking towards them. Max and Chris run faster just as Tina slips in the mud, falling on her elbow.
Oh,
And while Vicky and Lauren keep running, Max and Chris stop and help Tina up, looking back, and Hatchet Face is getting closer still.
Get up! Mom, get up!
Go on, move! Now!
Max and Tina, terrified for Chris, keep running, but Chris stays put, pulling out his awl that he got from the barn earlier. Outside the chapel, as Vicky gets to the chapel door first, she tries it, but it's stuck.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Lauren gets to the door, tries to help Vicky with the latch.
Push! Push!
A few yards back, Max lifts and holds Tina up, hurrying the last 5 yards to the chapel as quickly as possible. She looks back and Hatchet Face is getting closer and closer to Chris. Chris parries with Hatchet Face for a minute, dodging his knife swings, then seeing an opportunity, jumps on him, piggyback, wrestling him, and it's enough to piss Hatchet Face off. He tosses Chris off his back onto the ground.
Hey, here! Over here!
And Max and Tina are scampering away as Hatchet Face catches up to Chris and slits him across the chest, Chris crying out in pain. At the chapel door, Max, Tina, and Lauren try to lift the stuck latch with all their might.
come on!
Seriously?
Max turns around to see Hatchet Face walking away from the badly injured Chris, who's writhing on the ground.
No!
And Hatchet Face is getting closer still. Max turns back to the door and presses the latch.
Come on, goddammit!
And the door opens. They rush inside just as Hatchet Face is reaching them. Inside the chapel, Max slams and latches the door just as the butcher knife blade comes through the wood, half an inch from Max's face. Max stumbles back, falling on her ass on the ground, scooting away, but nothing else happens. Cut to black. Exterior the camp quad later, the rain has stopped and a light fog has fallen over the area. Angle on the Know Your Camp Bluebird Counselors board. Gertie's picture has been added to it, next to Duncan's. At the lake dock, the waves lap the sides of the dock. Exterior of the chapel, occasional lightning lights up the sky, making its stained glass windows glow. In the chapel, Vicky and Lauren are next to each other in a pew, shivering, terrified. They've been here a while. They stare into space, exhausted, in shock, after several beats.
Chris is dead, isn't he?
Lauren shrugs, lost in thought.
We're gonna die out here, aren't we?
Lauren doesn't move. We pan away from them to find Max sitting by the altar, staring at the machete in her hands. It glints in the sporadic flashes of lightning coming through the windows.
Sorry, Max?
Max looks up. Tina is shivering. Max takes off her denim jacket and gives it to Tina, who sits next to her.
Why do you keep calling me Mom?
You know how this is a movie, right?
Yeah.
Well, my mom played you in the movie.
No way.
Yeah.
Where is she? At your house?
She's dead.
Tina looks away, processing, and the pieces fall into place for her. She looks back at Max.
Is that why you want me to come home with you? To be your mom?
I don't know. Do you want to?
I don't know. Is that really such a good idea?
Then a sudden gust of wind outside sends a branch crashing through the stained glass window over the altar behind them. Max and Tina jump up and look. And then Max, during a flash of lightning, sees Hatchet Face's shadow pass by one of the nearby windows. Max holds up the machete.
He's here. He's here.
Vicky and Lauren join Max and Tina, and they stand back to back, looking everywhere for a sign of where he's going to pop out. Suddenly, a scratching at the chapel double doors. They all look and see the latch on the door clicking, trying to be opened.
Mom, get back against that wall. Stay there. Don't move. Vicky, Lauren, we're gonna open that door.
Vicky and Lauren nod, and the trio moves slowly towards the now rattling door. Once they reach it, Max stands before it, machete raised like a baseball bat.
On the count of 3. 1,
We close in on Vicky, her hands on one handle.
2,
We close in on Lauren, her hands on the other.
3.
And they fling the doors open to reveal a badly injured Chris on the ground. Max stops herself from striking, and she lets out a relieved laugh as all 3 girls drag him inside, hugging him, crying with joy, and they shut the doors again.
Okay, I'm okay.
I was so scared.
Thank God.
You're alive.
He's somewhere around.
Max turns to look at Tina, who's still by the wall.
Look, it's Chris.
Angle on Tina, who smiles, pleased, when suddenly Hatchet Face's hands burst through the wood walls behind her, wrapping themselves around her torso. Back to the real kids who stand, stunned.
Mom!
Back to Tina as she's yanked out through the huge hole Hatchet Face has created.
Mom!
Tina.
Max!
Tina?
Max! Max! I keep yelling. I don't know if it's like
We hear you. We hear
fucking
you.
up my
We hear you.
microphone.
Back to Max and the gang who rush over to the hole in the wall. Max's POV is Hatchet Face carrying a struggling Tina in his arms walks slowly away into the fog. Tina looking back at Max, reaching for her. Back to Max as we close in on Max, who slowly crumbles to her knees in ruins, her head falling, staying there for several moments. And then the entire frame of the movie starts to tremble again, shake, but this time harder than ever before. It continues to shake as Max slowly looks up, her eyes wide, trembling with rage, and she stands as the wind hits her, making her hair blow back, her eyes never leaving the disappearing Hatchet Face, and we hear the sound of Max's rapidly increasing heartbeat as thunder and lightning sound. Max looks down at the machete she's holding, then back up into the night, and her eyes narrow in determination as the sounds of her heart, the thunder, the wind, and shaking frame build to a deafening crescendo.
Max!
When the sounds and shaking stop, but Max doesn't turn around. Lauren, Vicky, and Chris are a few feet behind her.
Get away from there!
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking.
And we close in fast on Max as she turns around to look at her friends, a wild, untamed look in her eyes.
That he just fucked with the wrong virgin.
Vicky, Lauren, and Chris's eyes go wide, and we hear the killer opening drums of the Bengals' Hazy Shade of Winter as we cut the shots of Max throwing on Lauren's black leather jacket, tearing a piece of fabric from her skirt and using it to tie her hair back, using a cloth to wipe the machete clean as lightning crashes, going to Chris and grabbing him by his collar and kissing him, leaving him breathless. Max kicking open the doors of the chapel and twirling the machete like a badass in her hand. She walks out into the fog, her friends staying behind, watching her go, amazed. And we briefly close on Vicky, who smiles. That's the kick-ass Max she knows and loves. Exterior the camp quad, and the music continues as Max walks with determination into the empty area, spotting in the distance light coming from the barn a few yards away. Max, cracking her neck, strides towards it with supreme confidence and focus, fury in her eyes, and Hazy Shade of Winter drums come crashing to a close as Max rounds a bend and stops outside the barn, for there, in front of the barn door, stands Hatchet Face, waiting for her. It's a high noon moment, 2 warriors standing at opposite ends of the road. Thunder rolls as they size each other up.
You know what's funny? I always thought you'd be taller.
She takes a step closer, and Hatchet Face takes a step back, closer to the barn door.
Come on, baby. Don't be scared. I'll be gentle. Your first time always hurts.
And Max takes another step closer, and Hatchet Face disappears into the barn. Max doesn't move for a moment. Then we hear from inside Tina's horrified screaming.
Mom!
And Max runs to the barn, going inside to find that it's lit from above with flickering, swinging lights, hay everywhere, that spiky thresher thing in the corner below the loft. And Max looks all around, and no sign of Hatchet Face. Max hugs the wall as she moves inside laterally, slowly, her foot hitting a gasoline canister. Max steps around it, then spies something glinting in the hay a few feet away. It's Leroy's Zippo lighter. Max pockets it quickly and stands again, looking all around. Where the hell did Hatchet Face go? Max rounds a corner, and near one of the horse stalls is Tina, crumpled in a heap, but apparently unharmed. Max runs to her, takes her face in her hands.
Mom, you okay? Look at me. I'm getting you out of here.
You have to go. You have to run.
No, you're not dying again. Not like this.
And suddenly the barn door slams shut, and the overhead lights go out. The whole space is plunged into darkness. Tina yelps in surprise, and Max covers her mouth, puts her lips to her ear.
Don't make a sound.
We can barely see Max in this darkness as she stands up again, puts her back to the wall, and slowly starts to slide along, the occasional clap of lightning and thunder shedding light into the space, giving us a glimpse of Hatchet Face moving quickly, silently through the barn, watching Max. Max is practically hyperventilating as she slides along the perimeter of the barn, and then she trips, only to land next to Gertie's body, hidden behind a hay bale. Max covers her mouth and stands up again next to an open horse stall, only to have Leroy's body upside down, swing down, grazing her shoulder. Max stumbles away from it and turns around, only to come face to face with Kurt and Paula's bodies strung up on the wall. Another crash of lightning shows that Hatchet Face is closer now, but is enjoying the show. Max stands up again, hugging the wall, moving towards the gas canister. Once she reaches it, she crouches to pick it up, unscrewing the cap, and seeing in another flash of lightning that Hatchet Face is standing in the middle of the barn, an axe in his hand. Max starts to walk quickly along back the way she came, trickling the gas in a stream behind her. The bases of two of the barn's walls are now coated in gasoline. Max steps a few feet away from them, closer to the barn's center. She stops and pulls out the lighter. Tina, near her, goes wide-eyed.
Max, what are you doing?
I'm setting the mood. Cover your head.
Max flips open the Zippo.
Hey, fuckface. I don't like it with the lights out. I want to see what I'm doing to you.
And she tosses the Zippo over her shoulder, and the walls behind her erupt in flames, a carpet of fire whipping around half the space, suddenly consuming the two walls. The space suddenly lit up like a Christmas tree. Max's cockiness suddenly fades when she looks to where Hatchet Face was just moments ago, and he's not there, because he's now right behind Max in a horse stall. He moved there in the dark right before she lit the fire. He raises his axe as Max turns to see him.
Look out!
And Tina jumps up and pushes Max out of the way, but the axe blade plunges itself into Tina's left shoulder.
No!
Tina screams in pain as he rips the blade out of her and turns to look at Max, who's on the ground, the machete still in hand. The fire is spreading fast, even to the roof beams, as Max scurries back on her ass, Hatchet Face slamming the axe once, twice, again and again into the ground, trying to get Max, but good. Max scrambles to her feet and dodges his axe again. She swings the machete at him and it connects into his chest, and the wound is a doozy. He stumbles back, suddenly afraid, and Max uses the opportunity to charge towards him as he backs away, Max swinging the machete over and over until he falls back onto the floor against the wall. The fire is catching up to them. Hatchet Face is visibly afraid. Max brings the machete front and center, ready to strike, but Hatchet Face, quick as lightning, slashes at Max, connecting the blade with her hand. Knocking the machete out of her grip, the machete falls onto the floor, and Max screams as she backs up, looking at her hand. He cut her pinky off. She looks up at him, suddenly fearful, and he stands up before her, holding his machete. He got it back. Oh, shit. Max hesitates for a second before bolting to the other end of the barn and seeing a ladder climbs up to the loft where she nearly falls off the edge and the scary upturned spikes from the thresher below are waiting. She backs away looking for something, anything to help her cause, and sees a hay bale pulley tied to the wall. Nearly everywhere the fire is spreading fiercely by now. Then Hatchetface emerges from below, climbing up. When he looks around, Max is gone. Hatchetface walks to the edge of the loft, looks down, and sees nothing but hay and the spikes of the thresher. Then behind him,
Hey,
Hatchetface whirls around to find Max brandishing a huge pulley in her hands. She whips it toward him. It smacks him in the face, knocking him backwards, and he falls down out of sight. But there's no sound. Several beats of silence. Max limps along the loft towards the edge and looks down. And Hatchetface pops up, swinging from the edge of the loft, grabbing Max's leg. Max screams as she falls, grabbing the edge of the loft just in time. Hatchetface still holding her leg, dangling over those spikes. Max, summoning all of her strength, screams as she tries to drag herself more onto the loft. Hatchetface is crawling up her body to get to safety. Max closes her eyes. Hatchetface's head is now right behind hers, and with a rage and fury we never knew she had.
just fucking die!
And Max reverse headbutts him with all of her might, the shock making him lose his grip on the loft, and he falls onto the spiked thresher thing with a horrible shriek, and the spikes impaling him in half a dozen places. Max, thank God, is still hanging onto the loft, just barely. She lifts herself up to safety and lies there for a second, breathing. Time cut, barn lower floor. Moments later, Max, covered in blood and dirt, looking like she survived 1,000 near-death experiences, standing behind Hatchetface's body, still body stuck through the spikes, flames now everywhere.
Wake up!
Hatchetface awakens with a start, looks at her fearfully, trembling.
Looking for this?
Hatchetface can't move. He squirms, and Max gives a dry, exhausted, half-crazy chuckle as she plunges the machete into his chest. His head snaps back in agony. Max rips the machete back out of him, and he gives what sounds like a disgusting death rattle. Max is about to strike him again when she hears a loud crack from above and looks up to see that a flaming roof beam is falling down, headed right for her. Max jumps out of the way just as the beam lands right on top of the impaled Hatchetface, who doesn't even move. Max hurries to Tina, who stares placidly at the weakening roof beams. She's lost a lot of blood. Max starts to help her up.
He's dead. We have to go. Get up. Get up. We have to go and get you out to a hospital.
No. No. No, Max. You have to go.
What? No. You have to come with me. We're going to go home.
I am home, honey. This is where I belong.
No. No way. Come on. Mom.
Max pulls on Tina, but Tina pulls Max down to the ground. Again, overhead, the roof of the barn is creaking louder, now totally aflame.
Max, listen to me. I'm not your mom. I'm just me.
You are. Your name is Amanda Cartwright. You live in Encino, and your favorite movie is Second in the Rain. And we used to do numbers from the movie in our backyard, and you wanted to be a movie star more than anything in the whole world. Please believe me. It's you. See? We have to hurry.
Max grips Tina by the arms. Tina takes Max's face in her hands.
Max, I'm dying. If you go now, you'll get away. Listen to me. You have to go home. You have to live.
Max listens in shock as a fiery beam falls from the roof right between them and where Hatchetface lies.
But you can't stay here.
You have to let me go, Max. Let me go.
And after a moment, Max's grip on Tina loosens. She stares at her in devastated wonder.
I don't want to lose you again.
I'm not lost, sweetheart. I'm always right here.
After a few moments, a far corner of the barn erupts in flames as oil cans explode. Tina addresses Max exactly the way a mother would.
Go. Now. Run!
Outside the barn, moments later, slow motion, Max rushes out of the barn door, down the wooded path. Once at a safe distance, she stops and looks back to see through the open doorway Tina looking at Max proudly, flames all around her. Tina blows a kiss to Max the same way Amanda did in the home video earlier. Max catches it, astonished, tears streaming down her face. Tina looks up at the burning roof, closes her eyes just as the entire roof collapses down in a blazing inferno. Max is knocked off her feet by the blast of heat. She stares at the wreckage for several moments, hearing nothing but the crickets, the crack of the flames, the sound of her own breathing. Cut to black in slow motion. Exterior camp quad moments later, Max, the machete still in hand, walks slowly into the quad to see figures struggling into view in the distance, to find that it's a banged-up Vicky and Lauren holding up a severely injured Chris into the quad. Max gives a croak to get their attention, and they turn to see her. All three make their way over to Max.
Max, you're alive! Thank God. Did you kill him?
Max nods, her eyes far away. Chris kisses Max the second he's near her, hugs her. Vicky looks past Max, concerned.
Jesus, what happened to your hand? Wait, where's your mom?
Max cries. The others suddenly understand, and they hold her.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
So, what do we do now?
Suddenly, behind them, through the camp arches, the road suddenly opens up. Shafts of daylight shining through the trees. The movie's over. Time to go. Max and company gazed at it with a mixture of relief and exhaustion.
We go home.
Time cut outside camp. Chris, Vicky, and Lauren hurrying down the road in front of Max, who's right behind them, holding the machete, and their elation at seeing the road leading out of the camp is palpable.
Do you guys think we'll get home this way?
I don't know. Just keep going. Now that he's dead, we can get the hell out of here.
FYI, I vote we never tell anyone about anything that's happened here tonight.
Fine with me.
Why? We have to tell someone about Judy and Duncan.
Go for it, Lauren. I'll be sure to visit you when they lock you in a loony bin.
They walk out of frame. Time cut. We see several dissolves of them walking through the woods. It's clear they've been on foot for a while now. They're getting more and more anxious.
Okay. Shit. Guys, what the hell? The guy's dead, so why can't we get out of here?
Oh God. Maybe this isn't gonna work. Maybe we can't leave?
No, there's gotta be a way.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
I did everything right. I stabbed him in the chest and he made this horrible gurgly sound and then he just went still.
Oh, that's funny.
What's funny?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Duncan, before, said that the only way Hatchet Face could really die was by getting his...
Suddenly, a branch cracks loudly off screen and the gang's eyes widen as they freeze.
Head cut off.
Silence. Then, directly in front of Max, Hatchet Face, now riddled with holes, burned to a crisp, glassy eyes enraged, looms quickly up, grabbing Max by the throat. He lifts her off the ground as Vicky and Lauren shriek in terror. Close up on Max's eyes as she chokes, meeting Hatchet Face's stare, angle on Chris, who pierces through Max's pain by screaming.
Max, do it now!
Back to Max, who raises the machete in her right hand like a baseball bat.
Have fun in your sequel, bitch!
And she slams the blade into his neck, knocking his head back like it's a Pez dispenser. Max falls to the ground, and then from the wound in Hatchet Face's neck, a whiteness starts to emerge. A blinding whiteness that seeps out of him quickly, its intensity burning up everything around our gang. The trees, the road, the sky disappearing like burning celluloid, and the gang stares in awe at the whiteness soon consumes them as well. Fade to white and silence for several moments. Then the steady sound of a beep, 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 bleeding into earshot. Hard cut to extreme close-up. Max's eyes slowly open. In a hospital room, we reveal she's in a bed. She tries to sit up, but winces at the sudden pain she feels. She looks like she's just been through hell. A nurse enters after a moment and changes an IV bag.
Well, look at you, awake at last. Stay put, honey.
What? Where's everybody?
There was a fire, sweetheart, and you are a very lucky girl. Now sleep tight. Your father's on a plane right now. He'll be here in a few hours.
Max's eyes start to glaze over. She's going to pass out.
I killed him.
But the nurse has exited. Max falls asleep. In the hospital hallway much later, Max stands in front of a room door and looking in the window sees that a recuperating Vicky and Lauren are sleeping inside.
Max?
Oh my God, Chris.
Hey, sorry, I was looking for you.
Max kisses him softly. After she pulls back, Chris lifts up a section of newspaper and hands it to her. Max looks. The article headline reads, Encino High School students still missing from theater wreckage. There are two pictures, one of Gertie and one of Duncan.
Oh God.
She can't find the words. Chris holds her hand.
I had the weirdest dream.
Yeah?
Hey, your bandages, you're bleeding.
Max lifts up her bandaged hand and starts to unravel the gauze around it, revealing that her pinky is missing. It really happened. Chris and Max stare at each other silently, stupefied. After several moments,
I guess I know how to write that paper now.
Young lady, young man.
Max and Chris turn around. At the other end of the hall, the night nurse is standing there, annoyed.
I thought I told you both to stay in bed.
Suddenly, Hatchetface appears behind her. He slashes her throat with a scalpel, blood geysering all over the white walls. Then he lifts her twitching body off the ground, slamming her head into the fluorescent lights above. Max and Chris step back, horrified. Sparks fly from the nurse's eyes and mouth, and then all the overhead lights go out, plunging the floor into darkness. Then the slow strobes of the emergency system go on. Hatchetface lowers the nurse's body and starts to walk slowly towards Max and Chris, dragging the nurse's body, leaving a streak of blood on the ground as he goes. And as he approaches, he tilts his head, looking at Max and Chris as if to say, "Thought we were finished, didn't you?" And we close in on Max as she screams, slamming to black, immediately hearing Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want It title card, The Final Girls.
Woohoo! Now that was totally different.
Yeah.
Wild. That was wacky.
Yeah, it's weird. Like
I like how we
differences
grew a
are-
heart.
Yes. Well, I feel like that's very common. I feel like a lot of these earlier drafts, they like forget that you need to care about these people.
Right.
And then like somebody says, hey, maybe like give it a little more heart. And it's not like, because a lot of it is the same. Like it was very
Yeah.
different.
I thought
A
there
lot
was
of
a
it
little
is
heart here.
structurally the same.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, I love the movie. The movie
The movie is amazing.
destroys
I
me.
still need to see the movie.
You should
You
watch
gotta
it.
watch it.
It's
It's
on
one of my
Hulu.
So
favorites.
good.
It's on Hulu.
And Malin Ackerman
It
is so great in it.
Oh, she's
Oh, it's
so
on
good.
Hulu? I think I might watch
It's
it
on
tonight. then.
Hulu.
Yeah, you
Have
should
seen it,
because
Alex?
it's like literally I make so many people watch it because I love it so much.
We
It's-
watched it and I was fully bawling at the end.
It's
I
so
was like,
good.
I have not seen it
understand.
before.
I am like crying.
I was fully crying too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
haven't
so
hardly
was I.
seen it.
I was off
Yes.
camera, but I was like,
I'm actually
I
crying
haven't
now.
hardly
Yeah,
seen a
same.
horror movie since 2009.
I'm a
So
little extra delicate today, but same boat. It's all good. It's,
Yeah.
Ben, you were fucking amazing as always.
Yes.
Ben got all the ladies.
Nope,
Every
okay.
single one.
And oh no, see, I was okay. So here's
My
the
mom
thing
touches
is-
junk.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but so here's the thing. I guess I was expecting a twist. I really thought I was that Chris. I was gonna turn out to be a bad guy. I don't know why.
No,
but
you're a good guy.
No,
Yeah,
actually, I would say in the movie, if anything, like the characters are even a little more redeemable. Like that's the thing is it does that thing.
Everybody is kind of like
Yeah, well, and it does the thing
Vicky-
that all my favorite teen movies do, which is like nobody is purely terrible or purely great. Everyone is complicated. Everyone is human.
Mhm.
And so the character, the
Not
Vicky-
Kurt, I'm guessing.
What happened?
He's just kind of a meathead. He's not as icky, I don't think, in the movie. He's just kind
No,
of
in the movie, he just goofs around a
yeah.
lot.
He's
He's
just
like the
an-
comic relief.
Not,
Yeah.
he's not like a
Okay.
rapist.
Like he's a douchebag, but you just laugh at everything he
Played
says.
by Adam
because-
Devine. So
Yeah, he's
Divine,
just,
yeah, or
Divine.
Divine.
Yeah.
yeah, he's like
Okay,
a mini Jack
yeah.
I've always said
Black.
Divine, but I have no
Oh yeah,
idea.
but Adam. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Also,
He's so
Michael, you did a
good.
great. You were great.
like if
Michael.
it was the 90s, it would have been he would have said that's what she said every single line. Like
Yeah,
that's,
right,
that's that
exactly.
character.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
But he's not
Alex,
like a
You're a
stiffler
badass, Alex.
level.
by the
He's
way.
like like he just says dumb shit all the time.
The old fart reminds me of the one from Jason.
Which
the old
one?
The old fart. The
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely who that's supposed to be. Yeah. that's-
Yep,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
The
Oh,
old
you mean
part at the
reminds you of-
beginning
of
is
Jason
like
from
Friday the
Friday
13th.
Yeah, the crazy,
Yeah.
crazy old man, the harbinger.
There's always a harbinger. The harbinger is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to do Kevin and
yeah.
Phil again for
I love
October.
What do you guys think about the difference between like the fake people and the real people as opposed to in the movie versus in the script? Because they're like differentiated, but in the movie they like the fictional people bleed real blood, and you know.
Yeah.
there yeah.
I think they did the blood thing for comedy.
Yeah, and I think
I
they
think
were
that
like,
they
trying
made
to
it.
That's not, if that's not in the movie.
Fact.
I'm kind of bummed. I think that's a great.
Well,
thing to
it's
have.
funny. You just
I like
gotta
it.
watch it. You just gotta check it out
I'll
and you'll
watch
see
it.
what
I
happens.
will watch it.
Because
No.
it's kind of
Oh,
like Thomas
okay.
Middleditch's delivery is like, even though he's a piece of trash, he's
Yeah, that's a
fucking
shame, but-
hilarious. Daddy in the cone.
Fortunately, he dies very quickly, and he dies hilariously. Like the way he
Yeah.
dies in the movie is so funny. It's almost a little bit like Sam Raimi. Like,
Oh, I'm
It's got-
getting major Sam Raimi vibes throughout the whole.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
got
Oh my god, it's so funny. And the
slapsticky
visual
humor.
gags, you guys are gonna die with
Oh.
the visual gags.
Okay, did you
It's a
guys see the movie? Did you guys see the movie? Like, it could have been a prequel to this, or like it could have been written by the same people for all I know. You're Next.
Oh yeah. Oh
No,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's such a great movie.
Yeah, it's like
watched that
You're
movie.
Next. Subtitle: Don't fuck with Australians. Um,
Yeah.
but no,
I
hands
mean,
down, like,
listen, they are outnumbered by crazy critters that want to kill them. So honestly, if anybody can make it through the apocalypse,
there you go.
probably
Yeah,
Australian.
no, it's one of the greatest, like, just background visual gags I've ever seen. Just the one guy who gets a crossbow bolt in his back, and they never take it out, but they give him enough pain, so he sort of forgets about it. So every once in a while, it's like they'll have a really serious scene, and then he'll
Like,
just
get
turn
stuck on
slightly, and then he'll just turn slightly, and you see he still has this thing in his
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Like when someone like knocks shit over with the thing that's stuck in them, or they like get caught on things.
Well, when he tries to
Okay.
run away, and he remembers to duck underneath like the garrote wire that's strung across the door. He remembers to duck under it, but of course it just snags on the
Takes
crossbow.
on the- I love that shit. That's one of the reasons I love Xena so much, is that I'm just like, the slapstick just makes it for me.
Oh
So
yeah.
good. I love Sam Raimi style. Oh, night, Michael. Or good Eve. I forget for you.
Have a see you around.
See you next one.
I think I'm gonna go have dinner. If that's
Yeah.
all right with you guys.
I'm probably gonna eat something too.
Thank
Yeah,
you
I have
for
to eat food too.
doing this, everybody. How fun.
You all are
Ridiculous.
wonderful people.
To the next one.
Yes. Good night.